morning, good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning to you.
You are now listening to the Sunday Morning Breakfast Radio Show.
Good morning. It's the Sunday Morning Breakfast Radio Show coming to you live from Facebook Live and YouTube. The number to call in, 516-900-2278. We are the Weekend Review Show, and we do this every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Facebook Live and YouTube. Check us out on SMB TV and Facebook.com/Sunday Morning Breakfast Radio. How is everybody doing today? We have the usual suspects. Except for Crystal, she's on vacation, right? She's taking a
long birthday.
Oh, yeah, well, it must be nice, man. I guess must be nice. We have Bino in studio. Bino, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm good. How's everybody doing?
Doing well. We also have Voice in studio. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm a bit tired, but I'm good.
What are you tired from?
I only had 2 hours of sleep last night.
Why is that?
Taking care of a lot of things from work, arguments at work, had to do an action
Arguments
plan.
at work. What
Yeah.
are you arguing about at work?
We
have to beat Sprint, goddammit.
Well,
they're killing us.
You heard about that merger that could potentially happen and be closed by this weekend. So
Oh yeah, everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah, it is.
I have no idea.
What merger?
No, so it was announced on Saturday that Sprint and T-Mobile may be doing a merge, but the thing is, Sprint could be possibly having majority ownership, but we have majority votes, so I don't know how that's going to work.
Wow.
Does that mean we lose? Well, they lose you? Is that a possibility?
No, I'm just hoping that the CEO stays.
Voice, this is serious business right here.
No,
That no one cares about.
I do, man.
That's his job.
This
You
is my
gotta care
9 to
about
5.
it,
This is my
man.
9 to 5.
My job been merging for like 2 years. You don't hear me here bitching about
And
it.
I was concerned for you.
Yeah,
It's not
we
that I'm
were.
not concerned for you.
I know.
So wait a minute. So when does the final decision come down on whether
They
you?
said they can end by today, and then we'll figure out what we're
Yo,
going to do.
I can imagine the day he gets laid off.
He's on
and
the
it's
edge of his
not-
seat.
It's not a joking
I'm
matter.
calling my bosses like crazy. I'm like,
But
yo,
he's
what's
gonna
going
have
on?
all like the T-Mobile merchandise in the pit. He's gonna light it on fire.
Can you imagine?
They already announced certain shirts we can't even wear anymore. I'm like, oh,
What?
Yeah.
And I know you're not happy about
I'm
that.
not happy about it at all.
Bro, if you can't wear T-Mobile clothing, dude, this man gonna be naked. Like,
Whatever will you do, man?
I have no idea.
yo, let me say good morning to some of these people here.
Good morning, everybody.
The homie Bakari, good morning.
Good morning.
Jay Lex, good morning. Carol Ross.
Good morning, J Lex. How we doing, man?
Danielle.
Yes.
By
yes.
Chief Central.
By
The
CheapCentral.com.
sister Rachel.
Yes. Good
Your
morning.
sister, good morning.
Good morning.
Trini Mon.
Yes.
Good morning. Good morning.
Oh man.
yes.
No, listen.
Good morning. Stop right there.
I love Trini, man.
Who
yo.
doesn't?
I know, man. Like.
Except for Crystal. But everyone else. Good morning, Corinne. Good morning, Ziggs. Good morning, Danielle. And good morning, Jatan.
So by the way, so Corinna's like ready in like any day.
I
Like,
couldn't tell.
It's ready to. We're ready to go. Essentially, I'm just waiting for that thread comment. Water broke.
Hilarious. Yes.
Like
I just hope
Where's
y'all
she
get to the
right now?
hospital in
Exactly.
time because
Preach gonna be like,
I
I gotta
can't
leave.
see you in the back of the Explorer delivering the kid back.
Oh my
Am I
god.
supposed to touch that? Yes. I can't see the doctor giving you instructions over
gosh.
the phone to deliver the kid here.
what do you want me to do?
So wait a minute.
and I hang up on the doctor. Oh, sorry, it's a habit.
Potential end of the show today early. You never know.
Man, you know, it's possible.
You might enjoy that. Oh, we get to leave early.
No.
This is perfect.
No. This is mine. This is my
Oh,
home
man.
right here. This is my home.
So I'm just waiting on that call, man. Like that's it's
Better be on
strong,
standby.
it's a strong possibility. We'll see though, but yeah, she's due any day. The baby was due May 7th, or is due May 7th. But it seems like it's gonna happen a little bit sooner. But I'm just waiting on that call.
We can't wait, yes?
Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine all of us in the truck trying to help Corinne out, and I'm like,
Yo, B, I'm absolutely useless. Voice over here knows what to do. I've got it. Gangway, yes. Yo, your poor kid is wrapped up in a T-Mobile shirt.
Yeah.
no. I mean, the worst thing.
Yo, what?
We're about to turn yellow.
Oh, my
Oh
God.
man!
yo.
Out of that, we're gonna name the kid Sprints.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, Sprint Aldenor. Yes, call us at 516-900-2278.
Good morning, a day. Good morning.
Yes, we have a
Diggs.
lot to get to today. We appreciate everybody joining us, and there's the reintroduction of a very theme song that we haven't played in quite some time.
It's been way too long.
It's way too long, and you're absolutely right. We've had issues as far as sound effects and things of that nature, but we were able to bring this back It was the first order of business when we came in here. I said, before we even do pre-production meeting, we have to make sure that this. We got to make sure.
Yes.
We have to make sure that this is working.
Crank that bad boy up.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to make sure.
What in the DJ remix?
We have to make sure this is working properly. Even there's still some issues going, but we'll make it work.
So it seems, yes.
So if somebody's being labeled, we had a discussion about it last week a little bit, but we'll delve more into that a little bit later. But
Antoine says, good Starbucks morning to you all. Mocha
Really?
Frappuccino to you too, brother.
Really?
my homie.
That's how we're starting?
That's damn sure how we start.
Yeah, how we,
Let's get to the top 5, please.
This is the top 5 stories of the
That's
week.
how we got to start the damn show.
No shame in my
Number
game.
1.
Unbelievable. So anyway, we start off number 1. So shout out to James Shaw. He was the hero of the Waffle House shooting that happened a couple weeks ago. So shout out to him. He was able to raise $183,000. I think it was like $160, but he even raised even more.
Yes.
$183,000 for all the victims of the shooting. So big shout outs to him. Unfortunately, though, it just seems like our president hasn't shouted him out, or his administration has given him any kudos or anything of the sort. I'm wondering, are you guys surprised by that? Were you expecting that? Do you think something will happen in the future where he gets a White House visit and shakes hands with the president? What do you think is going to happen?
I'm very disappointed. I wouldn't say surprised, but I'm disappointed. Like, come on, son. First of all, denounce it as terrorism. I mean, a man walked into a Waffle House with nothing but a trench coat on.
Right.
Okay, bucking at people.
Yep.
And now acknowledge this man as a hero.
Yeah.
Like, are you crazy? He took care of this dude without a gun. He's one of those good guys with a gun.
Good guys with a gun. I forgot about that. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Without a gun.
That's all, because that's the only way we could ever,
Right.
resolve.
Meanwhile, the
situations.
situation in Florida, those good guys with guns were running faster than roaches when you put lights on. That's neither here nor there. You know what I mean? Raid!
Right. Exactly.
Everyone running, hauling ass. You know what I mean?
And was he naked afterwards?
The criminal was naked.
Yeah, the
criminal
criminal
Let's
was,
distinguish that from the hero.
And it was funny, they were
Hero's
able to
fully
apprehend him without harming him in any way. It's amazing.
Right.
Right. But you're chasing a guy in his own backyard for, let's say, smashing windows, but you had to make sure he was dead.
I guess we'll get to it later, but I guess the president was worried about ducking other things.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, like you mentioned the president's name, in 2.2 seconds he'll respond to you,
Of
depending
course.
on who you are.
Of course.
But like with this, I guess he missed
Homer
the story.
Simpson.
He didn't hear about this.
Yeah, no.
I just wonder why. Why hasn't anybody in his administration have acknowledged this kid and deemed him a hero? Is it safe to say, and I'm going to pose this question to you and everybody on the third like we always do, and I don't want to make it a racial thing, but you know what? Let's do it. If this was, let's say, a white Marine with his bare hands and was able to save everybody in that Waffle House.
And then took the American flag out and shoved it through the guy's chest. Yes. Yes.
And then a bald eagle comes and
started singing the Star Spangled Banner out of nowhere. Yes.
right.
While his pet eagle lands on his shoulder.
Captain America
From sea to shining sea. Yes.
right. Do you think if a man like that was the hero in this case,
Yes.
do you think he would have gotten a White House visit?
They would make a day after him. Preferably the one in January that they used for someone else already.
We gotta get rid of this Negro's holiday.
You
man.
had a day long enough.
Hey, yeah.
Dream my ass. Yes.
So I got a comment from Mr. Day. He said he was also a member and brother of the fraternity Alpha Phi Alpha.
Yes. Which clearly a day is one as well.
Yes,
That's
of
why
course.
we have to mention.
God.
Yes.
Okay. So
I actually got
My fraternity brother. So a day, when they do the movie about this guy, who will play you?
Shout out to my man Nick. He said it's because he was a member of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity is the reason why he didn't get recognized.
all right, guys.
Spare me with the crap.
Guys.
Spare me, please.
This fraternity war
This
crap.
show isn't sponsored by the damn Step Show.
This
okay,
isn't brought to you
Greek
by
Fest.
Drumline,
Thank
okay?
you. Please.
Relax.
Moving on.
Hey,
Yes.
Oh my God, let's get to number 2. So anyway, obviously it's prom season. A lot of people
Before
are.
you go, let me read this comment. Corinne says they would rename the Waffle House after him. Yes.
Yeah, which would be
After
dope.
the Marine, yes.
Absolutely, without a doubt. So obviously it's prom time. Everybody's asking who they want to bring to the prom and so on and so forth. So this guy, this genius, guess what state he's from? Wild guess here. This kid decided to post this up to his person he wanted to bring to the prom. Let me read the sign for everybody, for those who can't see. It says, if I was black, I'd be picking cotton, but I'm white, so I'm picking you. Prom anyone?
Wow.
It's beautiful.
I mean, it got some bars.
What was the girl's
It
reaction?
has some
It
bars.
has some bars. It has some bars.
What was the girl who was asked? What was her reaction? Was she crying out of
No,
being
no,
so
no.
heartwarming?
Beautiful. Thank you
Yes.
so much. Oh.
Thank God you're not black. Yes. If you were black, my daddy would kill you. Yes.
So yes, the school is now having a day of, I guess, sensitivity training and racial conversation. Essentially,
Will it be May 29th along with the
I
Starbucks
hope-
extravaganza?
I would hope so. Hopefully, they do it before prom, just so that there isn't any tension. But this kid, first off, this kid is definitely not allowed in prom.
or at the barbecue.
Whatever.
Or any fraternity parties.
But you would think, because we've seen things like this. Didn't somebody make a sign like this last year
Yeah.
Apparently, this is a hot thing. Yes.
in Florida?
Correct.
Oh, okay. Well, we're not really surprised by that. So, I mean,
This is why I don't see the way y'all talk about Philly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fuck with the state of Florida at all. I like Key West.
Right.
You know, I'll go there and sing the song or whatever, but I'm good. Like I
Right.
don't like Florida at all.
right.
Like it's the South, but it's a different type of South.
Yeah.
A
It's
bunch
weird.
of menaces down there. Yeah.
Like how Boston's a different type of Northeast
Oh
city.
yeah. Bunch of savages down there. Yeah.
Hey, I don't get it.
I'm just wondering who was in this kid's head, or who was he asking that made it? He said, "Okay, yeah, do that." That's a great idea, Timmy.
Like you
do
think
it.
he ran this amongst
Right.
people.
You've had to like, unless you took it upon yourself, and all your friends said, "Hey, do this. It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be great. She's gonna get it.
Right.
Let's be racist together at prom." Who the fuck gave you the okay to make that sign and then actually go present it? And so much so that somebody took a picture of it.
I mean, it's safe to say he doesn't go to East Side High here.
No,
where a bunch of,
I don't know. Fair East Side.
bunch of black students. You know what I mean?
It's pretty idiotic. I don't get it. Who gave the okay for that?
The homie Lem said the parents did.
If the I mean,
Yeah, but I doubt he ran this across his parents, and they were, go ahead, little Timmy. They're gonna love this.
actually,
I'll put it past him. I won't put it
just
past
don't
him.
see.
it's Florida.
Exactly.
That's all
Right?
you- that's all you can
I
say.
can't put it past
But
him.
even the biggotest of races like can't be like, yo, make this viral. You
Make this
understand what I'm
America
saying?
great again.
I
I'm
don't
wondering
know.
who he's voting for next year. All right, let's get to number 3. Oh, I'm sorry. This
Number 3.
There we go.
Thank you.
So speaking of Waffle Houses, so this incident happened. Remember when I was referring to the shooter of the Waffle House a little earlier? How they were able to apprehend him and they were able to, arrest him after shooting 4 people dead, mind you,
Being naked at that, yes.
being naked at that. So there was an incident with this female, and I guess, from my understanding, they were trying to. She requested that she wanted to talk to corporate. I guess they're saying she was belligerent and she was drunk in the Waffle House and wasn't really acting appropriately.
But
So
the
they
reason she wanted to speak to corporate is because she asked for plastic forks.
Okay.
Which is something I would do, or anyone should do
yeah, I
eating
agree
at a
with that.
Waffle House.
Yeah.
It's the
Okay.
dirtiest place ever.
course.
So she
agree with
asked
that.
for it, right? And they tried to charge her $150, something crazy like that. She's like, "What, for a free fork and knife? What are you talking about?"
Right.
So that's what led to let me call corporate.
Wow,
And here we go.
Corporate number.
Because the only thing I asked him was for corporate number.
That's the only thing she asked
I was
him.
going to go over there and get the card from them.
I heard the phone. They're going to get some
No, because Goldie was sitting here talking crazy to me.
whoa,
No, but
like, look where his hand is at though.
you're not going to grab on me like that. No.
Come on, Kiki, let's just go outside.
Please talk to you separately. Because he just come here and just grabbed on me like for no reason. I was saying I was going.
Yes, he would have. All she did was ask him what's their number.
Anything.
Why you not pushing her? She not doing nothing. Like, what are y'all doing?
Nah, this is crazy.
No, she not doing nothing.
But why was it edited though?
What are you doing?
About to break your arm. That's what I'm about
You about to break your arm?
About to break your arm. That's what I'm about to do. You heard it?
Like, what are y'all doing?
And I like how the people just sitting at the seat like, "Ooh, dude, these waffles are amazing."
To be fair, they are. But that's not the point.
She not, y'all ain't even talking about why she being on the rail.
Y'all not even telling me what I'm doing.
Like, why?
Oh, okay, so that she got it. That going too far.
Like, guys, let me just ask this question, okay? But and I'm gonna stop this, okay? Let me just
Oh,
ask
God,
this question.
Look at the way he contorted her arm.
Forget the arm.
Oh my goodness.
Let me just ask this question, okay? And let's all be I don't want to be rude in any way, okay? As a police officer, you got to have some type of consciousness in knowing that, listen, this girl, I think they were coming back from a party. Obviously her dress is a bit revealing, but just the hand movements and the way, like, if you saw where she was sitting down, his hand went like directly for that area.
Yeah.
Okay? And I feel like you need to have, as a police officer, some type of it's male police officers at that. You got to have some type of restraint
here and
yes, and restraint, and not necessarily understanding that, okay, out of respect, we don't want you to reveal yourself, okay, to us, so we're going to ask you politely to leave, okay? Fair enough. And I don't know, listen, I'm not a grapple specialist or anything like that. I don't know if there's certain grapple moves that they could use to subdue her. But I think you can do better from what we saw in apprehending this girl. Whether she was wrong or not, you got to do a better job in making sure that she's not revealing herself because you guys are taking a lot of force and trying to take her down and arrest her. I mean, it was a bit much.
And then what's the situation at hand? So she asked for corporate's number.
Yes.
That's a reason to arrest her?
Exactly.
Only concern I have is there was a little bit of a break between the fact that she was sitting down to the fact they got up.
Right.
That, I mean,
of course,
it'll raise some questions as to what happened.
Yeah,
they'll ask if she provoked them, if she said something, if she threatened them. So,
my thing is,
Zig says, was he restraining or trying to get some?
Because it sure as hell didn't look like they were trying to not make her reveal herself. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
that I agree too.
It wasn't like they were trying to be protective of her private parts being exposed because of this. Now, mind you, she is wearing a skimpy dress, so okay, that happens if you're in a physical altercation, whether you're fighting or whatever.
Right.
But I think as police officers, you need to especially if there's no female police officer, I think the right thing to do is, if there's any female police officers on duty currently, please report over here as soon as possible so you can handle the situation and make the arrest, just so that we don't end up looking bad in apprehending her and we're not deemed inappropriate.
I mean, because clearly this isn't like a bank robbery or something.
No, this isn't 4 people dead.
Closest into the area needs to respond as soon as possible. This isn't one of those situations. And again, I don't understand why she's being arrested. If you arrest people for asking to speak to a manager or corporate, you're arresting a lot of white women, not sisters.
Right.
It just is what it is.
But they're saying she was disturbing the peace, though.
Again, a lot of white women are disturbing the peace, if that's the case. If doing that is disturbing the peace, you're arresting a lot of people.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Do you know who my father is? Let me speak to your manager. That ain't us.
We'll talk about that a little later.
I get all that all the time.
Of course. But I just feel like they could have done a better job in understanding that, listen, she's about to be exposed. Do a better job in trying to apprehend her instead of scrapping her with on the floor. Like, just be smarter. I don't know.
Robert Jones says, KKK in uniform, not even Waffle House shooter got this treatment.
And that's what I mean. Like,
Day says, fuck them. Arm around her neck, choking her. She has her breast out. They're filling up on her. Honestly, fuck them.
Because it didn't look good. It didn't like they tried to be like, oh, listen, we want to apprehend you, but we also want to respect your body at the same time. This was just like, no, we don't. Yeah, this was we don't care. They were out of line. Even if she was out of line, I think the report was she was being drunk and belligerent and disrupting the peace. I think that's why she was arrested.
So now the whole thing with this story is it's not getting the same attention
that
the Starbucks situation got.
Right.
What y'all think of that?
I mean, listen. First of all, a Waffle House is a Waffle House. Obviously, is not as big of a chain as Starbucks is. Starbucks is everywhere. 1, 2. This is, I think this was an instance where she was loud. They were loud. Obviously, I guess they had asked her to leave for whatever reason, and she didn't leave.
Right.
And so, like I said, the report said that she might have been drunk and being belligerent, whereas you have those two gentlemen.
We're multitasking.
But the two gentlemen at the Starbucks were literally doing nothing wrong. They were quiet. They didn't say much. They were let go. So I think that's why it might be two different stories. What do you guys think?
I didn't like the way that her arm was contorted in the back. I mean, I didn't think that was necessary. Even if she was mouthing off, I mean, you got 3 officers on one female with no weapon who seems to be harmless, aside from her mouth. I mean, the video's going to do some justice. I'm just concerned about the break between the fact that she was sitting down.
You are correct about that. Yes, there was a break, so obviously there might have been an edit for manipulation and standpoint.
And they'll
or whatever.
use that.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll definitely say, "Oh well, there's something missing there." So we'll find out more about this.
Aday has a point here. He says there's no respect for black people, but our women, they get treated the worst. I think this should get more attention just because it's a woman, one, and the whole brutality of it. And because you see the brutality of it. It's one thing to hear people got mistreated. It's one thing to see it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All right, Chris Brown beat Rihanna, cool. Then those pictures of Rihanna came
Oh, it
out,
was
and then it hit
terrible.
home.
Absolutely right.
You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, this hits home. Her breasts are out. This is kind of crazy.
Right.
But I think because it came after the Starbucks thing is why it got, less attention or whatever.
But there have been other instances where we've seen police officers get physical with women. Like, I remember, if you remember the video from the football game where they were dragging a woman out, and she was actually like being physical with the cops, and the cop punched her.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, so they had her lifted up, and
Oh yeah, I remember that. She was drunk and she smacked the crap out of that black officer, and he just.
But I hope people need to understand, like, being drunk in public doesn't mean you can punch somebody or
No doubt.
or apprehend them in a physical manner.
Bakari says, "Don't make excuses for them. Preach, aka Kanye." LOL.
Oh, really?
I don't see any blonde hair.
Yo,
though.
Bakari, chill.
No.
Bakari, we ain't bring the coon train out yet. Chill,
All
Bakari.
right, we'll talk about that later.
Bakari, mad anxious. Well, hold on. Before we even move on.
Okay.
So we got the picture up of Crystal at her birthday party. This fool Bakari underneath the picture. Yo, y'all talk about Kanye this. I'm like, relax.
We'll get there, man. We'll get there.
Son.
We'll get there. I got something for Bakari. We'll get there. We'll get there. Let's get to number 4. All right. So, Khalees came out this weekend and alleged that during her relationship with rapper Nas, that there was some abuse going on.
Of course.
But it just seems like it doesn't have the same traction as if, when Fabulous.
Again, with the Fabulous thing, you
Right.
saw a video.
Right.
You saw a video of him wilding. For all you know about Nas, for what everyone knows about Nas, Nas is nothing but a poet.
Right.
Okay?
Where's the goofy?
Sitting in a dark room writing raps. You understand what I'm saying?
yes.
Please. So, again,
Right.
I don't play that. Or he doesn't seem like this. I don't know Nas personally.
Of course. Nobody.
We know his marketing. We know what he's marketed as.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
So whether or not it's truth or false, we don't know. That's all I'm saying with that.
I mean, like I said, but Khalees did come out and say, it was abuse on both sides. Like, she would hit him and he would hit her. So, and we don't know in the context of how the fights would start or how the abuse transpired. But, if you're admitting on both sides that there was physical assaults on one another, then I don't know if it excuses Nas from hitting her.
Nah, of course not.
But, I think it's a different story when she's admitting that, like Rihanna didn't admit, like, he hit her too, or she hit him too.
I mean, Khalees is definitely not going to be a sympathetic figure.
Well, right.
Unfortunately, she's just not. If it's true, it's unfortunate.
Right. And how petty do you have to be? So one of the things she says about Nas is that to get back at her, he stopped making payments on the home she was living in. And so I guess she came back from a trip to find a foreclosure slip on her door.
Right.
And she calls him and says, listen, what's up with the house payment? Why is this house on foreclosure? And in some words, he says, go fuck yourself or you figure it out, bitch, or something like that.
Yes.
Oh,
Relationships can get very ugly, man. Very, very ugly.
Nah, I got you. I do you one better as far as petty. Apparently, he whooped her ass for saying hello to Jay-Z during the height of their beef. Yes, right. Hey, Jay-Z, I love Takeover. And it got back to Nas and
Yeah. So listen, none of it should be excused.
Come
on,
come on, Big Keith. Her punches will bring all the boys to the yard. Come on.
Oh, come on.
Ade says, I feel like Khalees was talking about herself.
you think she beat herself up? I mean, what's going on?
Oh, Khalees is a wild, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Remember,
yeah,
she's a
yeah.
little her
Normal.
persona.
Right.
Unorthodox.
But again, I'm very careful with this because if he was going upside her head, it's
Of course.
a bad look. Nas, you
bad
let
look.
me down. If that was the case,
That's what I'm saying.
you know
It's
what I mean?
not your typical day with Nas. No.
Exactly, son.
But she's saying that, she wished she had saw the Rihanna pictures and was wondering, with bruises on her body, should I say something? And so I guess with this whole movement and women's liberation reoccurring, now she has the courage now to speak on the abuse that she went through. So
To be fair, I mean, that Rihanna situation happened how many years ago?
well, I mean, look, it's like if there's a tape of Nas beating Khalees, then everything changes.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Visuals really change a lot.
If there were visuals of her taking pictures of it, or
Right. I mean, wouldn't you want to protect yourself? But that's why I think she was also complicit in it.
okay,
That's why she didn't feel like, who knows if he had bruises on him or scratches on him or whatever. Listen, I get abuse at home too. Guys, let's turn off the music real quick. I get abuse at home.
Yo, B, miss me with this foolishness.
Like, it's real. If I come to you as a friend and I tell you, Beyond, listen, I'm going through some stuff. Corinne beats me.
Little babyface run, really?
Oh, really?
Really?
Babyface. Never heard of Babyface Killer? Yeah.
No. If I could get a poll question, I want to figure out with the ladies in particular what they think about this story.
And me getting beat.
No.
Yes, let's find out
That
about
I
that.
can believe.
Yeah.
I think we all can believe that one.
Okay, believe.
No, you can't mess with Corinne. She don't play, man. She's about her business.
Let's get to number 5, man. Please, let's get to number 5 ASAP. Because none of you guys believe me.
Number 5.
So anyway, Meek Mill's been released from jail. Kudos to him. All right, isn't everybody excited that Meek is out? And more yelling in your ear?
Seriously, it didn't affect my life one way or another.
No.
Right.
No, I'm happy for a black man to be out of jail or whatever, especially because they had him in jail under some bullshit.
Of course.
Yeah.
But again, he's not Nelson Mandela. Please.
Waiting for the homie
He
Drake
didn't
to
die for my sins here.
Drake about to get back to work.
Seriously.
No, but listen, this was a movement where there was a lot of crookedness going on with this case. This was something that everybody felt was a bit excessive. It was unfair to him. You know, a lot of people at Rock Nation pushed for him for this release. And, you know, in grand style, he was released from prison, went straight to the helicopter, went to the barber, got the haircut with Kevin Hart, and is in the front row. Rings the bell in Philadelphia, and, you know, everybody...
What a touching story.
It's not, for me, it's not even about him being released. It's about what you do after being released. What are you doing after this?
Yo, there's a statement that black people are more hyped when people come home from jail than they are for people who graduate school.
Wow.
And it's real shit. Like,
wow, you believe that?
Yes.
No.
Let me tell you what's so funny about this whole Meek thing. A year or two ago, everyone was shitting on Meek. Remember, he was the symbolism of taking an L and all that wild shit, right?
Yes.
Now he's home from jail. With the tear in your face. Like, what is this? Like, everyone is so trendy with the little with the little social media trends. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, all right, cool, he's out of jail, that's what's up. But I moved on with my life. You understand what I'm saying? I still paid bills that day.
Yeah, right.
I'm not coming home like Khalees.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna see the foreclosure on my career. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I still paid bills that day. Like, who gives a shit?
Right. And listen, I mean, he was the symbol of a lot of men who aren't a rapper. A lot of men because apparently the police officer in this case was very corrupt, and he affected so many other people.
Judge as well, yeah.
Right, and they affected a lot of cases in that prison. So
and mind you,
and that's a major story.
I'm here for that.
Right.
Yes.
But
all that extra shit. like I'm gonna get bagged, right, and leave Rikers and head straight to the Garden to the Knick game. Like, cut it out.
Right.
Where Spike Lee's waiting for me. Like, please.
Hey, Bino, how you doing?
Yeah, right.
Do the right thing next time. Right.
Yeah.
Poll question. All right, so obviously we have 2 poll questions. Let's find out what you women think about this whole abuse between Nas and Khalees. Alleged abuse. Let's cover ourselves.
Yes.
And also, I'm not really familiar with zodiac signs, but apparently this is a hot button topic. So, which is a zodiac sign that you hate to date?
That you wouldn't date.
That
you
you
had
wouldn't
like a
date.
bad experience with. And you wouldn't date.
I don't know what's the difference. I mean, give me the traits of each zodiac sign. I'm not really necessarily sure.
Seriously, what I look like? Each zodiac sign.
I mean, I have no idea.
All right, just whatever zodiac sign you've dated.
Okay, so what was the zodiac sign that you dated?
For me, it was definitely an Aquarius, yo.
Okay, and what was the problem with?
I think she low-key tried to kill me.
Why did she try to kill you?
Let's not do all that. But
okay.
Through the grace of God, I'm here today, and we'll just leave it at that. You know what I mean?
Voice, are you into zodiac signs?
No, I don't know any of that nonsense.
Yeah, all I know is that I'm a Pisces. I know we're talking.
I'm a voice of corn. I just put it that way. Yes, that's right.
Give me a break of corn. What? A voice of corn?
I'm
really?
a voice of corn. Yes. I don't believe in any of that nonsense.
Wow. He said I'm a voice of corn.
Yes.
That was.
What is your actual sign? Without using the word voice.
I'm a Pisces, supposedly.
Thank you.
Yes.
You too, right? Aren't you guys born around the same?
We're
both, yeah.
Pisces, yes,
I'm related
yes,
too.
yes. I don't know what Corinne is, but I don't know what that's.
When is her birthday? It's in like September
20th. I
want to say she's a Virgo because she's born near Sweet Mama, and Sweet Mama's a Virgo.
Okay, well.
I don't know. I could be wrong.
Sweet Mama doesn't beat you, though.
No, she does not. We keep our hands to ourselves.
Okay, cool.
Maybe you could learn a thing or two.
I don't do anything.
Maybe you and Nas and Fabulous could.
I don't do anything. Imagine there's a video released of me getting my ass kicked.
They're playing clips of you talking shit every Sunday. Meanwhile, you come home to an open hand.
Imagine.
Yes, Corinne says Virgo.
I gotta put on sunglasses and not talk to anybody.
I wear my sunglasses at night.
No, this is not funny. This is domestic violence. We should not be joking about this.
No, I know we should.
But it'd be crazy if I came in and I didn't want to talk to anybody, and then it's like the episode of Different World when what was the girl's name?
Gina. When she got beat by the rapper. Chill, son.
I'm not doing this.
That was a very special episode.
I'm not doing this.
Yo,
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. All right, Sunday morning breakfast.
Oh
boy.
All right, so I don't know how the hell she pronounces his name, but Judith Isat.
Okay.
As a woman just coming out of a hellish nightmare, being able to speak about abuse is the hardest, most painful part.
Mm-hmm. I get it. Like I totally get it. But you also have to ask yourself, you know, and it's tough because some women, I don't want to say are insecure, but they stay for a reason, for a specific reason.
They be trapped.
Yeah, sometimes they're trapped.
Where
like
can they go when they're scared?
Complacent.
I'm not gonna say all that.
No,
but,
sometimes they
complacent in what matter?
Think.
You mean? What do you mean complacent?
I mean they don't want to leave the person used to the person, and they deal with the issues of abuse and all that stuff.
Well, I don't think there should ever be a reason where you should just sit there and deal with something or getting beat because you know the bill's going to get paid.
I mean, look at the video we saw last week.
There's people who watch their parents go through it and think that's a
normal
thing.
Right. That's a very yes. I think that was the situation with Chris Brown because he had mentioned that he had saw his mother get beat, and so he felt like it was okay. So
take a look at the video you posted last week about the woman that was boxing that man upside the head, and they were fighting all the time, and she wanted to marry him.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right. No, I but like I said, you know, it's crazy. It's a double standard because, listen, we joked about me getting beat, which is true. But we laugh at it as like, okay, well, a guy, you should be able to defend yourself, especially against a woman. But the other way around, it's, no, you're completely wrong. As a man, you should never put your hands on a woman. I don't know the hotline for domestic violence. I remember we had that person on.
We interviewed
a while ago,
and we did have the hotline. It was
we
very,
did. It was
very
a
ABC
moment.
School After Special. Yes,
absolutely.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun.
If you want to know more about, we definitely did have the hotline. Yes.
No, and I think we did great work with that. I think we've always done that. I think
it's like the one show I'm proud of. Yes.
Yeah, the one show of all of them.
You do a show on Sunday? No,
no. Hey, listen this Sunday though. This one's going to be a doozy. No, but obviously. I think there are other women though out there that believe in that. They believe certain women should get hit. There's instances where you may go to your friend or a relative and say, "Listen, he beats me," and then they'll tell you, "Well, what's the problem? Deal with it.
That's crazy.
Handle it, or you probably deserved it." So that's another case of that. So listen, man. In no way is it right. I just wonder if Nas is going to be looked at with a different light now, because I kind of look at Fabulous a little bit differently.
Oh, easily.
Very
definitely look at Fabulous. The thing with Nas is
he's beloved.
He's super beloved.
Yeah.
It's also Khalees isn't as beloved. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
With some of the stuff with the child support.
And then it's just accusations at this point. It's not proven.
Correct.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
but if it is proven, it definitely changes things.
Like if there's video or if there's photos that she has and she releases them, and then I just wonder, does his career? Remember, Nas is truly beloved. From Illmatic to Sweet Chicks to Mass Appeal to all the things he's involved with, do we start looking at him differently?
Guditz then repeats, complacency is not it voice. B is correct. I was trapped. Men go through this too.
Of course.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I wanted you to clarify complacency. Like, you just don't want to say all that. All right, Sunday morning breakfast. Call us at 516-900-2278. When we come back, we'll talk about this whole Bill Cosby situation. Unfortunately, he was found guilty. We'll delve more into that when we come back. And then around 11 o'clock hour, we'll talk about Kanye West. Sunday morning breakfast. We'll be right back.
It feels like you're frozen, petrified. You're struggling with your mortgage payments. The bills begin to pile up. Not knowing what to do, you do nothing at all. And that's the worst thing you can do. Because if you take action, if you do something about your mortgage problems, you're far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making Home Affordable is a free government program. Call 888-995-HOPE to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now. Call 888-995-HOPE. or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov and do something about your mortgage problems. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
All right, Sunday morning breakfast. Call us at 516-900-2278. So as we learned, this was Wednesday or Thursday. So 80-year-old Bill Cosby, the once revered All-American dad that we all grew up with, was found guilty for sexual assault for the case against the former Temple student, or I think she worked at Temple as well. I'm not really sure, but. So he was found guilty. First off, we've discussed Bill Cosby. It was like a couple years ago when these allegations had come out. I think there's a few aspects of this I wanted to kind of dissect. The one being, a lot of people on social media are saying, especially on the Black Twitter side, are saying, well, look, okay, he's getting what he deserves, but how about other folks like Harvey Weinstein, like Donald Trump, like so many others that have been accused of sexual assault? Do you think there is something to the fact that America picked on that guy and made sure he's going to jail, and yet other cases haven't been brought to Harvey Weinstein and the others that have been accused of rape?
Hey, probably. It doesn't mean Bill Cosby shouldn't be in jail.
Right.
That's the thing. Like, and I argue with a lot of black people. I'm in a barbershop the other day in Harlem or whatever, and I'm going at it with the whole barbershop about it because they're kind of like defending Bill Cosby.
Really?
Someone even said to me, well, if you go to an actor's house, you should know what happens. I'm like, all right, cool. So, an actor invites you over to the crib, and all of a sudden you're knocked out and you wake up with a sore ass. You feel the same way?
No.
Then of course, you got a point there.
Right.
Why I got to bring it all the way there for you to understand, for you to have empathy for it?
Well, that's been some of the like the dialogue and saying, well, some of these women, you were going to this guy's apartment or wherever he was staying. What did you expect in terms of you had? I don't know if they asked for getting drugged, but some of the stories that some of these ladies have said is that they went over there more than once.
Even if you wanted to go there for sex, you want it to be consensual.
Of course.
You don't want to wake up not knowing who you are in the next dimension here. Right. You want it to be consensual.
Right.
Cosby's dead wrong.
Right.
Period.
Now, what is because there's 75 days before he's actually sentenced. Does anybody in this room think he's going to actually go to jail? I don't know what the minimum is. Looking at the story, it doesn't say. But I would have to imagine he's probably going to die in jail.
Either that, I don't want to sound harsh, and forgive me, people. I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this. I don't know if the mental preparedness is going to be for jail. I think the mental preparedness, it will be in his home.
You think he's going to commit suicide?
No. I think that with all the stress and everything like that, it could take a toll on him.
Of course. I mean,
it could be a casualty before he even goes to jail.
The same thing with like Joe Paterno. Joe Paterno got laid off for what? I don't know if he quit or he got fired from Penn State. And within days, he died because of all the stress of what was going on with the case.
And that's what I'm.
Same thing with Bill Cosby. I mean, an 80-year-old man who's dealing with having to think about, because in the story it says he's preparing himself mentally for prison. I don't know.
What the hell does that mean?
I don't know, man.
He's like taking a boxing class. Like, what does that mean? How are you preparing yourself for prison?
But,
mind you, look at how he probably lives. So to have to go from that to a cell. Can you imagine him in like Gen Pop or some crazy
He's
shit?
not. Well, they definitely won't put him in Gen Pop.
Yeah, because someone's going to try to phone check Bill Cosby. Like,
hey, Hey, guess what I did yesterday?
What?
Yeah, I don't. It's
Like, can you imagine?
It's very awkward, just because. Talk about a fall from grace. This guy was the dad of every dad on TV.
But why you gotta do that though? Like, you're Bill Cosby. Millions of groupie broads are ready to give it to you anyway. You ain't gotta take it from nobody.
But you gotta understand, he has a persona he has to protect. He's the family man with his wife Camille.
But
and
he
the kids
already
and,
had a kid outside of that marriage anyway. So him doing that is not a surprise.
I mean, look, it's you want to keep everything as tact as possible. And
so hold on, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Zig says something about they did it so he couldn't buy NBC.
No, I'm sorry. I don't think that was because these rape allegations were out before. Like they were out during the time he was trying to buy NBC, and it wasn't like he was arrested the day after he proposed he wanted to buy NBC.
And they're messing with him now.
Yeah,
like he's no threat to buy NBC.
Right,
now.
exactly.
Like,
Yes. I don't buy that argument. The craziest thing about this whole story is the fact that there's one person who's the cause of this, that really brought this to light once again, and that being Hannibal Buress. Think about that. Hannibal Buress, because the thing with Bill Cosby is he was the one checking all of Black America. You need to have your pants up, and you need to go to school, and you need to do this. I think that's why one of the reasons why a lot of people aren't really sympathetic towards him. But you got to remember, he was the one thumbing his nose and looking, you got to get your life together. Speak proper English. Okay, don't rape bitches. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, you gonna tell me to live a perfect life, and you're definitely.
There's a D.L. Hughley interview with him and Cosby going back and forth, and Cosby checked him on it.
Yeah,
and Cosby made it clear if that interview ever sees the
you'll
light,
never get another job. Yeah, you will never ever get another job. So Bill Cosby's not beloved as people think, especially not within the industry.
Imagine a joke actually sparking the fire of this whole entire thing.
That's
crazy.
Listen,
Big Keith says it's a control issue, and he's absolutely right. Goodit says, beloved TV father figure or not, TV titan or not, this never should have happened. And yes, if he does get the max of 30 years, he may not make it to the prison gates. Nothing can prepare anyone for prison. Only person who could survive that is someone who has been there before.
Yeah.
Bakari says, why only Cosby? Where's the Harvey Weinstein trial?
Because the women have not charged him, I don't believe, formally of sexual assault. I can be wrong. I think the LA PD are kind of doing an investigation and seeing what charges can be brought to him, but nothing as of yet. I don't know if there's any trial dates or any specific woman that is bringing charges towards him. So,
Sweet Mama says the last rape case in 2000 something is what landed Cosby in jail. Cosby was like Kanye, made it to the elite status and forgot he was black.
I don't know about that.
I don't know that part.
Because listen, that was what the Cosby Show was all about, is showing the black family in, the normal setting, not the good time setting where, oh Lord, we in the projects and life sucks. Like that was not the premise. It was like to show African Americans.
Leave us the role of OP.
Oh damn!
There's no need for that.
Like that wasn't the premise of the Cosby Show. It was all about
successful middle class black people.
We live a regular life. We deal with
that.
regular issues like everybody else, like you white families who are also our neighbors. So cut it out.
That's right.
But listen, we always had questions about, there were 30 women, more than 30 women who have accused him. I said, well, look, I don't know if all 30 of them are right, but when there's smoke, there's fire, and there's a shitload of smoke. A lot.
You got old comedy footage of him joking about Spanish fly and wild shit like that. Like,
it wasn't. It definitely wasn't set out right. And then you look back at TV appearances that he had made on talk shows and the way he flirted with women, and a lot of people say, well, he was around beautiful women in the Cosby Show. None of them came out. I mean,
that doesn't mean he does it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like that doesn't mean he's
Marvin Shaw would have went upside his head, man.
And you also hear the term, you don't shit where you eat. Like, that's probably his thinking as well. You got to be careful with this whole conspiracy theories. Like, there's another black man the government trying to take down.
Yeah.
Nah, I think this guy was a creep.
At 80?
Yes, right.
Yeah,
what threat is Bill Cosby to Eddie?
Yeah.
And if they wanted to take him down, it would have been in the prime of the Cosby Show. Yeah. Wouldn't that have been the perfect case?
When he was the most powerful guy on NBC.
Right. So is it okay to set aside race on this case?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. At the end of the day, a creep's a creep.
Now there are aspects of it because now I see the meme a lot. People bringing up the bitch, yes, and that's what she is. That accused Emmett Till
Yeah, of course,
like bring her up.
And she is a bitch, yes.
Yeah, send her to jail.
Absolutely.
And anyone else that lies on somebody on that nature, you deserve that time.
Of course.
I totally, and not by a little like probation. No, you deserve the time the dude who would have gotten accused of whatever or convicted of whatever was going to serve. You deserve that time. You think twice about lying on someone like that.
Right.
But it does not make up for the fact that Bill Cosby's wrong. He's wrong.
Right. According to Page Six, the 80-year-old Cosby repeatedly told Page Six about that place, referring to prison, which might become his home for the rest of his life, beginning in the summer when a judge sentenced him to a maximum of 30 years. He says, "When they send me to that place, I want you to be there to tell my story because it seems no one is listening. No one wants the real story." I'm sorry. During trial, didn't you have an opportunity to testify at all? My thing is, it goes back to the whole conversations we've had in the past. If you didn't do anything, you legitimately had nothing to do with anything, and you're being accused of, wouldn't you be singing from the mountaintops and giving detailed information that would prove your innocence?
Absolutely.
Particularly if your life is on the line. Your freedom
Especially
is on the line.
if your life is on the line.
If it's something that you like, this is ridiculous, whatever, I choose to ignore it, that's one thing. But again, if now you got to pay money for lawyers to defend yourself, yeah, you may want to. Gouda has a great point. She says predators know how to choose their prey.
Yeah,
absolutely.
As opposed to why he wasn't touching damn Felicia Rashad or Lisa Bonet.
Exactly, right. And then other co-stars had said, the dude
who played Martin?
Oh, yeah.
He threw Bill under the Greyhound. What? Backed it up, drove over it. Like, what?
Exactly. So, I mean, look, like I said, a lot of people in the black community, remember, he was the same guy that was telling us to get our shit together. And I'm not saying he was wrong for that or some of the things he was saying, but when you're saying things like that, you better make sure your closet's clean. He also cursed at the prosecutor.
Flip-flop? Really?
Yeah, because after the verdict was read Thursday, and Judge Stephen O'Neill chastised District Attorney Kevin Steele for his continued objection to allowing Cosby to remain free on bail, Cosby erupted. He says he doesn't have a plan, you a-hole. I'm sick of this.
Well, not your typical day at Bill Cosby's either.
Wow.
The prosecutor had said Cosby had a private plan and could escape custody.
Can you imagine Cosby holding that?
We're going to Mexico.
Let's go. He's got the glasses with the nose attached to it. Could you imagine? Elvin, Sandra, come on, let's go.
Your thoughts about this comment, real quick. Not saying this is from Carol Ross. I'm not saying what he did was wrong or right. The president admitted to grabbing females by the and nothing.
Right.
There's a comparison between the two, though.
Listen, we can make all the. Here's the thing. There's one thing I learned about watching Law and Order. Okay.
Oh, so excuse me.
So I'm yes, please. Shut the hell up.
Counsel preach over here.
Thank you. So let me say my piece.
Right.
It's all about what you can prove. At the end of the day, if nobody comes forward and charges you formally, then you're not going to jail, or you're not going to go to court. It's just that simple.
I'm just waiting
all these women that have come out and said, "Listen, this person statute of limitation after I believe 7 years. If you come out after the fact, they can't charge them." And I think that's the case with Donald Trump. You have these porn star, the porn star Stormy Daniels coming out saying the sex was consensual. It was both parties were down for it. She was disgusted by it, but she still admitted, yes, I wanted to have sex with him. And the other playmate that admitted to having relations with him. So, I mean, you got to be able to say, all right, I want to charge him formally of sexual assault. Donald Trump. None of these cases have come to fruition. It says, when there was a talk of a plea bargain, I said no, Cosby told Page 6. I just refused to plead guilty to something that just didn't happen. It didn't happen. Andrea knows that, and I think prosecutors know that. And then you had the other victims at the court as well. So once the verdict was read, they were crying and they were showing a sign of relief and saying he deserved to get, whatever he gets. And, he also says, but, I think back to the time when Camille and I went to visit Nelson Mandela in South Africa. Oh, get the fuck out. Oh, God.
Let's get the violin now.
Oh, please. He was a free man, but I remember when we met him at Robben Island, where he had been in prison for all those years. I sat in that cell where he lived, and I saw how he lived and what he had to eat to live and went through. So if they send me to that place, then that's what we will do.
Oh God! All right,
and
so
I
hold
will
up.
have to go there.
So
now this motherfucker's Nelson Mandela. Like what?
So Antoine Fisher got a comment to you. Said, "Preach you wildin'.
Mm-hmm.
Caught in real life truth is completely different. Plenty of innocent men tell their truth and are still in jail. You talking about singing your truth, but when they don't believe you, when they don't want to believe you, you going to jail."
When they all right, I'm sorry. Say that again. Because is he basically saying? Is he saying Cosby's innocent?
I don't know. Yeah. Explain yourself, Antoine.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand where you're going with that. If you believe the guy is innocent, that's fine. But you have 30 other women to answer to.
Or
where are all these accusations coming
you yourself.
from?
Go spend a weekend at Cosby Camp and let me know how that turns out.
Right.
Because for all that, I believe him. Are you comfortable being around him?
Yeah.
You know, are you comfortable going in his fridge and getting yourself a refreshing beverage?
Right.
If not, shut the hell up.
But let's say if you have a sister or if you have a grown daughter,
are you comfortable with
her being there?
What I'm saying?
That's fine. That's all I'm gonna ask.
So Gudit says that she used to be a paralegal. I guess Gudit's the girl's name.
That's not more important than Law and Order. But
No,
go
but
ahead,
what she's
continue,
saying,
please.
it has absolutely nothing to do with what can be proved anymore.
Right.
So
it's all about what you can prove in a court of law. That's it. Yeah. Like, it's not about what happens. What actually happened is what you can prove.
Right.
That's why you throw away the gun after you shoot somebody. Because if they can't find the gun, more than not, they can't convict you.
Yeah.
It's just real. I think it's especially the case in the Bronx too. I think that's some other stuff. But Law and Order is an amazing show. You gotta watch it. Apparently, it's amazing.
I love that song.
You gotta watch it. Yeah. Listen, all the Cosby defenders. Listen, you have every right to defend them, but you gotta, you can't ignore the fact that other women have come out and said, "No, yeah, he did the same thing to me too." More than 30 women came out and said that.
And it's safe to say that the show is pretty much not going to be playing anymore now.
Well, I'm on the fence about that because, Elvin and them had nothing to do with this. You know what I'm saying? They got to eat too.
Like, yeah, but it is called The Cosby Show, though.
But is Seven Heaven still on TV? Like, are these other shows still on television? Like, I'm against that. Now, you can watch The Cosby Show and separate the character from the real life person.
Yes, of course.
If you can't, then I don't know what to tell you. Just don't watch it.
Right.
But it still should be on TV.
Well, there's a difference because, and that actually is a great segue. We'll take a quick break and we'll talk about this whole Kanye situation. Are you able to separate the art from the personal point of view or personal life? Just because, with Bill Cosby, obviously they're going to pull the show immediately.
The difference between Kanye didn't commit a crime.
No, he didn't.
Now, let's try R. Kelly.
Yes.
Do you people still push old ladies out the way to run a Step in the Name of Love?
Here you go.
Thank you. It's still in a wedding.
I've seen little kids and old ladies get pushed out the way.
Oh, but it's a conspiracy to take down R. Kelly because the U.S. government's in there. We have to take down R. Kelly. And mind you, he was in trial and he was acquitted.
By the way, not only he was acquitted, the family of that girl in the video took money.
Money, yes.
Took money. Y'all remember Sparkle? He did that song "Be Careful." Well, her family took bread for that. So
what was more important, the fact that you got paid or him doing time? But there's a government conspiracy.
There's no amount of money in the world I could take for someone doing that to my daughter or whoever. Like that's crazy.
No, and then you could still sue civilly as well. That's what they did with OJ. He wasn't found guilty in criminal court, but they still sued him in civil court.
Bro, it'd have been so easy to get him the videos right there.
Yeah.
Kelly literally in the video, literally.
And I hate these people that are defending R. Kelly. Like, yeah, there's it's proven that he's been a creep.
I like his music too, like anyone else.
But can you still? I don't know.
He's a pervert.
Nah, but with all the new stories that have come out about him having
sex cults and all this weirdo shit, like
I can't rock with him.
Who's surprised?
On a personal level or a documentary level, I know. But the music, come on. So you tell me when you DJ sometimes, right? You don't play any of his music at all?
No.
Wow.
No.
Tom Joyner finally came out and said he's not going to play his music anymore.
You can't, because what are you saying? So how do you feel? So let me ask you a question. You're a DJ and you're playing R. Kelly music, and then there's a bunch of ladies dancing in the dance floor. You don't feel a certain type of way with that? That looks weird.
If I see nobody dancing, then I'll change it. But if they get up,
the Pied Piper, remember that? Follow me, ladies. It's like he's weird. He's weird. That's just it. All right, when we come back, we'll talk more about this whole Kanye situation. I know Bakar is waiting for us to comment on it. So,
bro, what? Slow your damn roll.
Shut up about Cosby. I want to talk about Kanye. We appreciate the love, Bakari. Sunday morning breakfast. We'll be right back.
home is more than 4 walls and a roof. It's that porch swing on a summer night. It's pajamas with feet and everybody over for Sunday dinner. And that old stuffed chair in the living room you just can't get rid of. This is why you work a second job. This is why you learn to fix things yourself, so you could save on repairs. Because home is your place, your memories, your family sleeping in their own beds at night. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. And now even more options are available. Call 888-995-HOPE today. That's 888-995-HOPE. Or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov.
Good night, Mama.
This is why. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away at theshelterpetproject.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Dog Show. Up next, we have Satchmo. Satchmo is a member of the Shelter Pet Group.
That's right, a group known especially for their couch-snuggling, ball-chasing, face-licking, tail-wagging, backyard-hanging, and, of course, companionship.
And what breed would you say Satchmo is?
I'd have to go with maybe a lavish terrier-hound chihuahua-looking kind of mix.
Tremendous dog.
I'd also like to point out Satchmo's coloring, a white, gray, brown, black brindle, simply marvelous.
You know, it's such a treat to watch a dog like this.
Now, let's see him in action.
Look how he makes eye contact with his person.
That's actually known as the treat stare.
How intuitive. And now he appears to be excitedly turning in circles.
Ah, the happy dance, so common with this group.
And finally, the loving face lick.
It's great how he just gets in there and, well, licks.
Fantastic. But really, the best way to know an amazing shelter pet like Satchmo is to meet one.
Visit theshelterpetproject.org today. Adopt.
Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
All right, Sunday morning breakfast. Call us at 516-900-2278. And should I play the theme now, just so that we can preface it? Let's play a little bit of it now. Somebody's joining that train, boy. Somebody's joining that train. Let's pump it up. Turn it up. But who wants to dance to this?
Look, you got it?
I love this intro.
Just a little shoulders. That's it, man.
Come on.
That's it, man. We ain't got to go crazy. Yes.
Coon train is coming.
What about black on black? Coon train is coming. Where the white women at?
Oh, yeah. We're going to leave that alone. All right, so obviously a hot button topic this week has been Kanye West and his alliance to Donald Trump. In tweets this week, he says he messes with Donald Trump. He loves Donald Trump. Also saying that he's not necessarily a conservative, but he needs to do some research to find out a little bit more about conservatism. And he wants to he's releasing new music. What's the one thing that he said that upset you a lot?
Black people complain too much.
Oh, right. Yes. Who wants to start this off? Because I mean,
voice, please.
I don't even know where to begin, to be honest with you. The memes was serious.
Right.
Obviously, he's not having a clear head. First, in the beginning, he said that he was going to rock with Trump. Then afterwards, he decided to post on Twitter he wasn't going to rock with Trump based on the fact that the performance was pretty bad.
Okay.
Now he's on that train again.
Right.
So which Kanye do we have right now is what I'm questioning.
Now, is it anybody? Is somebody who just supports Trump? Because we know people who support Trump. It doesn't necessarily mean they're bad people or they're racist, but just automatically, if you automatically support Trump, does that make you a bad person? Does that make you a coon?
It's the whole phrase. Not all Trump supporters are racist,
right?
But all racists are Trump supporters.
Absolutely right.
So it's one of those deals. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Apparently, it's the first time you've heard this.
Yes, I love that bar, bro. I'm sorry.
big evil villain laugh. Skeletorial pad. But point is, it's what it is.
Right.
And one thing I don't like about this whole thing with Kanye, you're rich off of black culture. You're rich off of hip hop, which hip hop predominantly and originally spoke on the struggles of black culture. Now, granted, you, Kanye, didn't grow up in the hood. You're pretty much middle class in Chicago, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, this is what you got rich from. So you never shit on what you get rich from.
Right.
Period.
Right.
And I'm just not with it.
Well, here's the problem that I think a lot of people need to realize. Calabasas' life is a lot different than yours. Not a lot of people live that Calabasas life. Meaning, you know, granted, he didn't grow up in the South Side of Chicago with disciples and lords and things of that nature. He wasn't ducking bullets and so on and so forth. Lived a pretty middle class life. Okay, and so became this hip hop icon. We can say whatever you want. He is one of those. Like, he's a trendsetter. He's somebody who's changed the culture. But then there's something happened. He lived a different life. He lived a much more comfortable, rich Calabasas life where you don't necessarily you don't see life the same way you used to. Meaning, you know, you're surrounded by people who they have certain privileges that some people will never ever see. It's just that simple. And then you live in a bubble where what you might hear now is, hey, Kanye, man, like, you know, all this complaining from black people, like, why couldn't they do what you did? And why couldn't they, you know, work as hard as you did and be make as much money as you did and be as successful as you did? Why, Kanye? Why didn't they do that like you did? And then you start taking that and you start saying to yourself, maybe there's some truth to it. And it's not the same. Like, it's you can't make that argument and thinking that anybody could live that Calabasas life, because not everybody has the same opportunities that you have.
Let me ask you something.
Sure.
Law and Order. And
yeah, thank you.
Dun dun. I know, right? Would you say Oprah and Beyonce are just as successful? If not
of course,
more?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
see how black fissionated Beyonce is.
Of course.
Yes.
See what Oprah does for black people.
Of course.
Like,
particularly
not
in
because
Africa.
you get money means you need to forget what other people go through. That's empathy. That's what empathy is called.
Right.
So empathy is, I've never been homeless, but I could see a guy
It
in the
sucks.
street during the cold.
Right,
You understand what I'm saying? And out in the cold, and I
Right.
can have sympathy for him. That's what empathy is. So now, when you get to a certain level and you forget that.
Yeah, but but there's a reason why you don't see Beyonce and Beyonce and Kim hang out. Like, that family have lived they have a different point of view on life. I think I was telling a story that Vince Staples was telling a story about the time he had visited Kanye and Kim at their mansion or whatever, and they don't live in reality. They live in cameras. So it's like, all right, enough of this, enough of the talk, enough of this fun. We got to turn the cameras on. All right, everybody, start acting, start doing your thing, and you don't live a real life. That's not the life you're. If you're always acting, then who are you? I think that family is literally, and I'm not a religious dude, but they literally sold their soul for fame and money.
It's funny you mentioned that. So Bakari says when his mom passed, referring to Kanye, he lost his
Donda
soul.
West, yes.
Yeah, of course. As with anyone.
Yeah. Right.
Thomas Virginia says, stop playing. Kanye never got off the coon train. Put your love of his music aside. His actions are what they are. I mean, it is what it is, yo. I have no problem putting him there. I mean, because that's where he belongs right now.
So him just supporting Donald Trump.
It's not about that. It's about the whole statement about black people.
Right.
If you want to support Trump, you have your reasons. First of all, him supporting Trump does not surprise me. They're the same kind of person.
Yeah.
They're insecure, sensitive dudes that hide behind false narcissism. See, people
And
think
notions.
someone who puts on a facade, I have confidence in myself at all times. People think that's a cocky dude. Nah, that's
Very
an
insecure
That's an
person.
insecure person. Like,
Right.
because you don't have to wear that on your sleeve. If that's who you are, that's who you are. It
Right.
shows. You don't have to tell people that.
Right.
And that's why him and Trump are the same. So them connecting doesn't surprise me.
Not at
least.
all. Not at all.
They same type of person.
Not at all. Right.
Totally agree with that.
Of course. And then this whole idea, and then it looks back. Trump is saying, you know what? Kanye's figured it out. Why can't all black people realize that I've saved black unemployment?
But that right there is why I put black coons on the same level of black hoods. Black hood dudes and black coons are the same thing because they both can be used to further white supremacy. Both of them.
Yes.
Both of them. Just in different ways. Right. They use Kanye on some, see, the rest of you don't get it.
Right, of course.
And they use black hoods on some, see, the rest of you act like this.
Right.
It's the same level, the same shit.
Some of those hood dudes too, they were voting for Trump. They admitted it.
And then the idea of it, I mean, I would never rock with Trump. I obviously didn't believe in any of his platform. But once the Haitian comments and the Africa comments came out, that's when the line was already drawn, but it just got bigger. Pause when when he said those statements. So any person that can side with that person, I don't care if he falls into any belief politically in which whether you're pro life or whatever, you have to say to yourself, this is not a great person to be representing our country as the leader of the free world. Like at all. Forget the tweeting, forget the comments that he makes. Like the flack that you gave the president before.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, really?
Yeah.
Now here's the question though. Are you able to separate the music and the man? Are you now saying to yourself, okay, I can still listen to his music, but I don't necessarily have to agree with the person?
So what I would say is the past music that he has, absolutely. If he goes now and has remarks or bars with regards to current events, then he's gonna not only lose his core audience, he's gonna lose all his audience.
I seriously could not play a Kanye song and it's not a sap story. I was looking through my playlist. The lyrics don't seem genuine anymore. Like the song 2 Words where, you know, you know what I'm saying?
Totally.
Like you remember the song 2 where he's coming at, like, you know what I'm saying? Did the government administer AIDS? Like this whole person that was so, all the songs he had done with Common and like how serious, who was that person then?
So here's the thing. Again, it's safe to say that Kanye West is not his normal self. He has many spheres. He has many personalities.
Right.
So I can say that back in the day when Kanye was feeling the way he was before, it was genuine.
Right.
His decision got swayed as influence started to come more and more. He doesn't know himself yet, to be honest with you. So I can't say that I would not listen to it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
I mean, if you're 40 years old and you don't know yourself.
No, he's lost.
Damn.
No, when you lose somebody you love dearly,
like his mother.
Yes.
And I don't know if listen, we all are psychologists, so we don't know how he coped with it or not. So that's.
I mean, but it's a serious thing.
Of course,
very serious thing.
Apparently, he's making the doctor that killed his mother the album cover.
Ridiculous.
Get what I'm saying?
Ridiculous.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Like, and he's trying to say it's a forgiving thing and love and all that. Bro, please keep it to yourself. Like that.
Like.
I wouldn't even buy something with that on the cover. It's not
why would you give that
CDs anymore? But like, I don't want to look at that either.
Right.
Listening to your playlist. It's all an opinion thing because rappers have been known to not be who they say they are. I mean, you got rappers who know the real Noriega who turned out to be COs.
Right.
Hey, Ricky. So like, with that being said, like, and people still support his music.
Of course.
So it all depends. The difference between Kanye and R. Kelly, like I said earlier, one committed a crime. The other one's just a coon or someone you disagree with.
Right.
So it's a totally different thing. If Kanye puts out the next Jesus Walks or whatever, blah blah blah, people still gonna rock with it.
Right. I think the thing that's most upsetting about this whole thing is all the MAGA people who are now supporting him, who are probably
they love him now.
Who are the same people?
Kanye's in my top 5.
Who are now saying who once were saying the N-word about him when he had interrupted Taylor Swift at her speech,
or when he said what he said about Bush.
Right. Exactly.
But again, these same people. You know that OJ has a point when OJ said what he said about Colin Kaepernick.
Right.
So as long as you rock with their party lines and their rhetoric or whatever, it kind of doesn't matter what you do.
Right. How much do you believe that it's all marketing? If this is all marketing, I think it's worse.
That's even worse.
That's
what you're doing is you're trying to make yourself relatable to them, so you can get more of a plug.
But again, at the sake of the black struggle, which is what hip hop at the core of it. Hip hop wasn't always this mumble shit that you hear now. At the core of it, it was about the black struggle
that he's always represented as well.
Correct.
Yes.
So if you're doing that, if you're using that for marketing, and you're a black man, I can't rock with you. That's even more disgusting to me.
That I can continue with.
And once again, it's not because he's a Trump supporter. I think it goes beyond that. I think there's things he has said afterwards. Because remember, he was aligning himself with the whole Candace Owens commentary on Black Lives Matter and her saying that, you know, it's a BS group and, you know, there are other ways we can fight the system as opposed to making a group and protesting and so on and so forth. But there's a way to there's certain values I believe in conservatism that I can agree with, whether it's fiscal responsibility, and if you don't have the money, then don't spend it. You know what I mean? But this idea that, oh, well, if we put, what's the bootstrap statement? If we grab ourselves from the bootstraps, then we'll be successful.
Again, not everyone has that opportunity.
Not everybody has the boots.
I don't like this. Because I go through certain things or because I live a certain life, you all should live it. It doesn't work that way.
It's the bubble he's living in, man.
Bakari says Kanye's sensitive ass still mad Obama called him a whore, an asshole, excuse me, Stay
a whore.
Wife. I kid. Sweet Mama says the lyrics from his past are real. He's not that person anymore. Bakari again. Bakari on fire, baby. Bakari be dead.
Am I still a cool Bakari, or where am I? Am I still?
Just sent me a text message. Yes.
So
Bakari says he feels so important that Obama should have met with him.
Yeah, that's another thing. Okay, so Obama's been in office for 8 years, and Chicago still sucks. Correct? That's what he's saying.
Yes.
But you've
what has he done?
Exactly. Well, you've said you have donated to Chicago for you've been out since 2004, and Chicago's still the same. Yes. So, are you to blame as well?
Shout out to Chance.
Not only that, other people in Chicago were like, Kanye hasn't been back here in years.
Yes.
So what are you talking about?
Thank you. The only thing they've been talking about is Chance the Rapper.
His former friend GLC was like, fam, we've been out here, and things are actually getting better, and we're on the front line.
Also, Antoine just says you're still on the train. Yes. We'll forget all that for a second. Also, that sucker shit he did with John Legend.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't. This whole
what
sharing,
was that about?
sharing of the song. I mean, the text messages. I don't get it.
Even crazier. He posted something on Twitter yesterday that Emma Gonzalez, the person who was the victim in Florida shooting, right?
Right.
He had a picture of her and called her the hero. So she responds and says, "Yeah, Shaw is the hero." She responded to Kanye, said, "I'm not the hero." She put Shaw as there. So it's like we don't know who we get. She's even confused because she was wondering what was going on with that statement.
Right.
Yeah, but you kind of see why Jay-Z and them don't rock with him too.
Yeah, you kind of. There was.
You see why Meth Bleak don't return his calls. You know what I mean? Like you kind of see what's going on here.
Yes.
All right, so am I joining Kanye in this coon train?
No.
Well,
that would be disrespectful to you, bro. Nah, that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful to you, bro. Yeah, there's no way.
I'm just saying, two people in the audience, Antoine and Bakari, put them on the train.
Antoine too?
Yeah, Antoine said you're still on the train. Actually has the choo-choo train in the
car. Oh, wow.
Now, if you dye your hair blonde, then yeah, probably. I'll probably.
What about Kanye West?
What about Kanye West? I'm still gonna listen to his music.
I love Jesus Walks.
I watch Keep It Up with the Kardashians.
Thank you, Maya B. Maya B says sharing his personal text was despicable. Yeah, I saw that was completely sick.
I don't know
like, what was that about?
What was the point of that? Like, why would you even do that? The whole thing with Ebro kind of didn't look good in doing that as well.
I mean, Ebro definitely wanted the whole to break the exclusive
because apparently there's an interview that's been done already that they're shopping between himself and Charlemagne, and so they're kind of see who's going to pick it up and who's going to give the biggest check. I don't believe the rumors that they're going to offer $10 million or $100 million for the interview. I mean, we love Kanye, we don't love him that much. Just put the shit on YouTube, cut it out. Like seriously. But like I said, I think it should not get lost on everybody that this guy is in a bubble as well.
I get it, but other people in that same bubble and they don't act that way, man.
Like, that's a different. I think it's a different because they don't. I think it's much more of the people you surround yourself with, and so if you surround yourself with the Kardashians and you've seen the people who surround the Kardashians, then you're like, your mind is definitely. There's definitely a curse going on.
To me, it depends on who you are. At the end of the day, who you are determines whether or not you're the influencer or the one being influenced. Period.
If you're an insecure person in that clan, you're easily.
Which is why I just said it depends on who you are. You're either influencer or the influencer, one or the other.
I mean, and look,
like for me to take cues from the Kardashians, cut it the hell out.
And the sad thing is like, so we talked about the whole Tristan Thompson thing, him cheating on Khloe. That would be traumatizing to any person, any woman, being pregnant and finding out that your husband or your baby father was cheating on you.
Right.
They look at it as like, oh, we got another 2 more seasons. Yes, buddy. Like that's part of what the problem is that they live this life that none of us can comprehend. Similar to the whole Michael Jackson situation. Nobody on earth can ever say they lived a life similar to Michael Jackson. Only Michael Jackson can understand his life.
Yeah.
Same with that. They live all of it is a show. There's no realism. Even with the whole...
You bring up Michael Jackson. Do you know how much of a proud black man Michael Jackson
was? Oh, of course. No.
Michael Jackson was fists in the air. And again, Kanye's never could be on that level.
No, absolutely not.
No way.
I don't excuse his level of success.
But just imagine your whole life being videotaped. Like Truman Show shit. Like your whole life is being videotaped. All of it. Even something as traumatic as being held at gunpoint and robbed for jewelry.
Yeah. If that was real.
If that was real. Okay.
Antoine says fame is a hell of a drug. That's a fact.
It's real.
Sweet Mama says there's no cure. Kris Jenner is driving that train. Don't ever get it twisted. That Tristan shit was a plan too. I mean, it's possible.
It's possible. Like, you
Very
can't
possible.
doubt it. I mean,
because they're still relevant. You made a statement that they've been on TV
over 10 years
with
now.
that show, really?
Yeah, it's over. I think it's been over.
Has
10
it been
years.
that long?
I think so.
It's been that long.
I believe so. And it's like, remember, Kim Kardashian was just some chick who was a side buddy of Paris Hilton, and then that tape came out, which is still available to this day. Listen, we were talking about it on the way here. If you had a sex tape out, you can get rid of it. Or you can sue whoever you need to sue to make sure it doesn't ever get released. Ask J-Lo, okay? So if there's stuff out there, you can stop it from being released or ever being viewed. But for whatever reason, you could still find that tape. You wonder why. There's an origin of all their fame, and that tape is that was the epicenter of everything.
I agree with that.
Yeah, Thomas said the difference with the Truman Show is he didn't know he was being taped. They
know it, and they welcome it, and they want it.
That's a fact.
And it's been a 9-figure cash cow for them though.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if they know what life really is without the cameras. I think that's a bigger question. Like that would be, what would it be like without the cameras? Their life, it'd be boring as shit.
Yes, it would. I
don't know if they could live without it. To be honest with you.
On a side note, real quick, did you guys listen to that Kanye song?
That's another thing. This the song with him and T.I.
Yes.
That's what tells me it's more of a marketing thing, because he's only tweeting and saying, well, we got a new Pusha T coming out in May, new project coming out in June. Conveniently. So that's why, if it's a marketing thing as well, that it makes it even worse.
I mean, it's safe to say it's going down that
he
road.
doesn't need that, mind you, he doesn't need to do. He doesn't need to do. There's probably few artists out there, if they put out one song, they shut down the internet.
Yeah, for real.
Beyonce,
Of
Drake, him, and I guess J. Cole and Kendrick.
Yeah. I guess he's trying to regain those 9 million followers that he lost.
I just don't get it. I don't understand.
Because again, if that's marketing and you lose,
that's terrible.
That's terrible marketing. It's not the
9
idea of
million
marketing.
That was
a lot
terrible.
Antoine Fisher says MJ, talking about Michael Jackson, gave little sick boys Jesus juice. The interview's still out there. Anybody banning MJ?
What interview is out there? Antoine, come on.
And he want this MJ point to be made. Because he said it before.
He said like 3 times.
Wait a minute.
By the way, MJ touch boys. Bro, you want to call and talk about it, bro? Like,
hold on. So he's saying MJ admitted to giving the kids Jesus juice. The video's out there.
Yes.
No, I will not be partaking in that video. I'm sorry. I don't want to.
vaguely remember
I'm going to look this up right now.
I'm not even doing
I'm going to look up Jesus juice.
Interview.
You have been flagged by YouTube.
Antoine Fish.
Coon.
Child porn.
Such a coon, preach.
So Gudit says, don't be surprised if he, I guess Kanye, goes the Sammy Sosa route and bleaches himself.
Nah,
he hates who he is.
I could agree with her, to be honest. I mean, he started with the bleaching of his hair.
Wild. That would be
his hair is blonde.
That's wild.
Nah, I mean, he's definitely not rap tight right now. Something's going on with him mentally. I think, can we all agree on that?
Mentally, yeah, absolutely.
I hate to do that just because, like Dave Chappelle said, just calling somebody mentally, unstable is very dismissive, and I don't think we got to be careful because remember, Dave Chappelle was called the same thing, and we had no idea what was going on.
Well,
but Dave Chappelle wasn't talking crazy.
Yeah, he wasn't talking crazy.
He just went out to Africa.
This man's talking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, damn, Matt, he's something.
We have some factors that literally conclude to this situation that's going on with him, man. I would use the term. I think it's safe to say that there's a disturbance.
I haven't listened to this song with T.I. I saw him freestyling somewhere on a table looking fat, and I just ignored it. I was over all right. He's sitting at the table. He had like the Make America Great hat on. He was looking crazy.
Yo, by the way, Michael Jackson looks ghoulish. So I put up Michael Jackson Jesus Juice. This is the only clip one of 2 clips that came up.
Jordan Chandler, or his family on his behalf, filed a lawsuit against you.
Yes.
To your knowledge, Mr. Jackson, were you ever accused of having sexually molested Brett Barnes?
Won't answer that.
Yo, his face is hilarious. I'm sorry.
We're destroying this poor man's legacy.
Nah, man. You know what? I can't keep playing this, man.
We're destroying this man's
I'm not
legacy.
going off of conspiracy theories here, man. I don't see any videos.
Keep it to yourself, Antoine Fisher.
Yeah, they're right, Antoine.
Antoine over here. Hannibal Buress in the graduate.
And the man's dead. Leave him alone, man. He's gone. Even with that, like, there's another thing that Dave Chappelle said. He was like, "Yo, why are like 5 and 7-year-olds going to freaking? Why is Michael Jackson your biggest inspiration? He wasn't around during Thriller. Like, what?
And since when was Michael Jackson the babysitter?
Like, why would
who as a parent would think that's a good idea?
Yeah, like exactly. Why would
I can see you sending a kid to a camp or some shit, but in some grown man's house.
It was Neverland.
What is that?
It had a
With
Ferris
lions.
wheel.
Yeah, so during the day you ride the Ferris wheel, you take your ass home at the end of the day. Like, what is this?
Right, I don't know.
Play with tigers.
I think listen. I think it was one of those money grabs where they said, "Listen."
Antoine says when Cosby dies, you better leave him alone. We will.
Yes, we will.
Yo, we was mocking the Cosby theme. Remember the weirdo Cosby theme he had with the whole African Peter Pan shit? At the end of it, they had their hands in his face. We was, oh God, you should have seen Preach murdering that shit this morning.
Right? Yes. Me, I was murdering it. All right. So there was this something that had gone on in a New York City subway. We're from New York City. Obviously, we're familiar with some of the crazy things that go on in the city.
Jesus.
But this was pretty crazy. So there was a woman sitting there.
Racist pup.
Let me just tell you the story. A guy brings his service dog, who is a pit bull, inside the subway. Okay?
I don't know. I didn't even know pit bulls could be
Exactly.
service dogs.
What next? A wolf?
Right. Like, actually, pit bulls are actually great at being service dogs. They're like,
never knew that.
They're hunting dogs and great service dogs.
They're also great at mauling people.
So anyway, but the guy decided to have his service dog take a seat on one of the seats. Right.
You've had a long day.
So a woman next to the pit bull is like, "Yo, get your dog off the seat. It's only for people, not dogs." Which she's right. She's correct on.
She regrets it now though. But yeah.
So he's like, "Mind your effing business. Leave me alone." He proceeds to put the dog back on the seat.
And also the dog is a person too.
Right.
Yeah.
She pushes the dog off the seat. So then it goes on for about a few minutes, and then I believe he punches her a few times.
Wow.
And then the dog proceeded to attack.
Yes. Protect his owner.
Yes. Here's what happened.
Hey, move.
She attacked her first.
Okay, just get the dog.
Hello.
Take that shoe, boy. You take that shoe.
Yeah,
Move.
Oh.
No, I didn't pick it up.
Get the hell out the way.
Here we go. Call the police. Oh my God.
Yo.
Yeah, but you're going to jail now. No, I'm not. And he's going to get euthanized. I'm not. Get your shoe off.
You gonna get euthanized?
White people, I love white people.
Oh, look at the dog.
They're so detailed with charges.
Oh, he's.
They're gonna take the dog away and euthanize him.
Yes.
And you're gonna get a $5,000 fine.
Look at him. Shoot
And now you just assaulted me with that.
You got that fucking cook.
That Jordan didn't deserve that.
Move. The dog is not vicious, but
Come on, wait a minute.
she did it.
Now listen.
So,
But no. Before you stop
Yes.
it, he's about to say, but she did. She's about to say what she saw.
let me
yes.
play it.
Attack. She did attack him.
That's a felony. You better have papers for that. Yeah, right. Of course.
So,
Hey,
God
move.
bless that dog. God bless that dog.
couple things here. Okay. The dog, rightfully so, because the dog is trained to protect the owner.
Okay.
If the owner was attacked, the dog is going to. The only thing the dog did was take a shoe. The dog didn't bite her arm off or take her foot off. So there's some type of tame with the dog.
Well, if my foot is in the shoe, you biting my foot too. What does that mean?
Yes. But the thing is, after the shoe was taken off, the dog was going after the shoe like it was a game.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? The dog didn't go specifically in the face of that person. And to boot, the person was attacked. She punched him, right?
Yeah, but your dog doesn't deserve to be on the seat either. Get
Maybe
the dog
so.
off the fucking seat.
Maybe so, but service dogs are allowed to be on the train.
And I'm not saying the dog needs to be euthanized or taken away. And he has been charged and arrested.
Yes, he was charged.
He was charged and arrested,
but she needs to be charged for assault too as well. She did assault the man, so there has to be some double charges.
It doesn't say, in the story. It doesn't say that. It says that she or he punched her.
What? Yeah,
but the witness did say she attacked him.
You see what I'm saying? So if even if there's an attack, there still has to be some type of charge there. Because she provoked it. You see what I'm saying? So they both should be charged.
Well, listen, we've had our share of experiences with dogs. I mean, I have a dog. You love dogs.
Little dogs. I'm not messing with that shit on the train, please.
But, I mean, we have our own special relationship. I don't ever think that this dog here.
What?
I don't ever think this dog would ever do anything of the sort.
She would never.
To any of us.
Okay?
She's everyone's favorite family dog.
First of all, she was sitting on a bus, on a seat rather. There'd be no issue.
Oh yeah,
that's true. This is true.
I mean, we'd all go, "Oh, yeah,
right,
you can sit here. You can sit here."
I would definitely give up my seat. For
a pregnant woman would get up for
exactly. An old lady. I was in World War II, but you deserve this seat more than I do.
Yes.
Okay, that is not a problem.
Yes.
I mean, look at that.
Look at her little face. Did you see her jacket?
Her red coat.
Oh gosh,
she's like Little Kim or something.
Now,
just heartwarming.
Now let me just ask you guys this:
Yes.
Do you think there's any vicious bone in that precious thing's body?
Absolutely not. She's just heartwarming.
Oh my God. God bless her.
And she's invited. Wow.
And somebody is around.
And that looks like Trini Man.
Oh man.
I think we get a phone call.
Who's
hello?
Who is this, sir?
Yo.
Yes, hello. How can we help you?
This is. Oh, you monk. Yo, I swear.
What the
really?
What, man? What happened?
My pup on the air?
What are you talking about?
What's wrong with your pup?
Your pup?
Your pup is already.
Why am I being blamed?
Well, to be fair, the pup is already on social media, so we lose
Everyone
the rights.
knows
We lose the rights of that picture shot.
Hey, I don't care. But yo,
I don't care.
We put my pup on the air, B. And going back to what's going on with the situation with the dog and the girl.
Yes, man.
I just have to say that she was wrong. Like, if you know it's a pit bull, why attack the man?
Yes.
Pit bulls are known for defending their owners.
You got it, but your dog is not supposed to be on a train seat.
Yeah.
It's
So
for people.
We're in the room.
I get no. You're very right on that.
Wait,
point.
before you even
Dogs are
continue,
not
Trini Man,
supposed-
hold on for a second.
Right,
Where
go
in the rule book does it say that the dogs can't sit on the train?
Come on.
No, where is it? It's an unofficial rule, but there's nothing that says.
So
No.
if there's a dog first, then
Again, I might know if a dog could sit down on a chair, but at the same time, you attack the owner and you attack the dog.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing the dog is going to try to do is defend itself and its owner.
Yes.
So yeah, I might understand that. All right, maybe the dog not supposed to be on his seat. All right, fine, no problem.
I don't know if I agree with that.
But you then want to go and attack the person, and you know that pit bull. You was looking for the pit bull to bite you. You're lucky the pit bull didn't bite your face.
Yes.
Wow, Trini Man.
I agree with that.
So Trini Man, let me ask you something.
I
So
just
when you
saying.
take Trini Pup to on a train, do you hold her or does she sit
you
down?
need to cut it out, all right, Bino? I'm not going to answer any more questions. Because I feel like listen to me. Anyway, people have a good morning.
All right, Trini.
All right, thank you, Trini.
Appreciate it. All right,
Yes.
man. Let's just appreciate your dog. So here's the account from the person who was videotaping the whole incident. Okay, he says in a quote, when room opened across the aisle, King said the man sat down and put his dog on the seat. As the dog laid down, King said the pet bumped a female passenger on the other side, noting that the female victim said to the dog owner, "That dog don't belong in the seat. That's an animal. People belong in the seat. Put the dog on the floor." Oh. And the owner looked at her like, "I'm not moving my effing dog." From there, it went downhill quickly. King said the woman first pushed the dog off the seat. The owner put him back up, and she shoved the dog off again. The owner responded with fists. He was like, "Don't touch my dog," and he started hitting. They started fighting. Everybody tried to break it up. The dog latched onto her. So it seems like he attacked her. She was defending herself, and then the dog, seeing that the woman's attacking the guy, he decided to bite on her shoe. The guy was wrong. He was wrong. First off,
I do feel that there are more than one side here.
Yes, of course. Okay.
Here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so the girlfriend, Denise Leon, also witnessed the scene and described the events to WCBS. The dog's jumping on her, but she moves back. That's when he catches hold of her shoe, and he was not letting go. At the same time, you want to help her, but you don't want the dog to turn on you.
You ain't lying. I'd have been rooting for her from afar.
Yeah, like, yeah, you got this.
And by rule, it says the MTA only allows dogs in carriers or service animals, which he's saying it was. The MTA rules further clarify that service animals are guide dogs, signal dog, or other animal individually trained to perform tasks for benefits of persons with disability.
Yes.
That such person is unable to perform due to such disability, such as guiding persons through impaired vision, or learning people with impaired hearing to sound, pulling a wheelchair, retrieving dropped items. I need me a service dog. Can you give me some juice? Providing me rescue assistance. The term service animal does not include a therapy animal or animal used for emotional support. And it doesn't look like this guy was blind.
Yeah. So it looks like one of those deals.
Yeah.
Danielle
I mean,
says,
if he was labeled as a service dog, though.
Danielle says, but the chick pushed the dog.
The dog didn't belong on the seat, though.
Rich says the same thing. She put her hand on the dog first. Like, even if you go and make the case, yo, get your dog down. Like, don't touch the dog.
Okay. Yeah,
especially if it's a pit bull.
But all that you just read also, right? It does not say the dog can't sit.
The dog definitely doesn't deserve a seat.
The dog does not deserve to be on a seat.
Like Trini Pup can have a seat.
No, Trini Pup is not a dog. It's a wonder of the world.
Okay, thank you. That's one. Put that picture back up again. That's one.
Right.
Two, putting a dog on a seat is the equivalent of someone putting their bag on a seat or their foot on a seat or some wild shit like that.
Just downgraded the pit bull.
Nah,
man.
like you don't do that. Like that's like douche 101 type shit to do on a train.
Or spreading your legs in there.
Like seriously, like yo, you pay for one seat. Like I hate people who wear like their book bag in a seat and they're all over the next seat and all that wild shit. Like there's no need for that.
What a beautiful pup.
Fair enough.
Oh my God, look at her. She's such a good girl.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll tell you one thing.
What a
If that
rascal.
dog is sitting next to me, I'm getting his autograph.
Trini Pup?
Look at you.
What?
She
She signed it for you.
She is
I can't get over her cold, yo.
Oh.
She really
To be
came
fair.
down there and you heard a Little Kim song playing when
Yes.
she walked out the door.
And she's matching good old Beano.
You heard James Brown pay the cost to be a boy. She walked out the room.
I think it's your dog with all the colors that y'all wear.
We definitely match. I don't know why, but it happened.
Me
I'm
and
not
the
mad
minds,
at
maybe?
her.
I don't know
Or
what
he's
set
great
y'all
minds think
repping,
alike.
but
Don't worry about what we rap, yo. Just know that the two of you don't belong in the
Trini Pup set. Trini Pup set.
Trini set. Trini set.
What a good girl.
Trini set. All right, Sunday morning breakfast. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have news of the weird. Sunday morning breakfast. We'll be right back.
It's 6:42 p.m. Time for Steve Plotto and his son Dylan to do the dishes. They talk about everything from the yuckiness of girls to the awesomeness of his soccer team. Sometimes they don't talk at all. Then, hey, the dreaded splash fight. It's Dad o'clock, and it's the best time of the day because the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Today, my new dad threw a barbecue.
Today, my new son and I threw a barbecue.
There were burgers and chicken.
I burnt everything. The burgers, the chicken, the salad.
They were delicious.
They were awful.
And then we had watermelon.
I'm allergic to watermelon.
And then we played catch.
I broke Mr. Lewis's window, Mrs. Wakeham's window, Mrs. Wakeham's windshield. And then, somehow, my hand. My hand!
And then my dad even let me drive his car.
The hospital's on the right! It was a rough day.
It was a great day.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Adopt U.S. Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her?
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge.
Got to get this all straightened out. Keep a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve! Is now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend.
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
All right, news of the weird for this week. Speaking of dogs, we just cherished Trini Pup, but apparently there's another naughty dog out there. So a Instagram model, she goes by the name of Deanna Monera, posted a video online of a poolside photo shoot showing herself dancing with the dog named Hef. She says she is being sued by Tony Tatuna, who owns the Russian Royal Terrier, who claims she sexually aroused his pooch by playing with the dog's genitals.
Oh.
According to the lawsuit, Tatuni filed Hef stands about 5 feet high when on his hind legs, while Manera is 5 feet 6 inches. Tatuni states that Marina began sensually playing with Hef arousing him by playing with his genitals and masturbating him.
What kind of shit is this?
But the model insists it was Hef's owner, Tuntuni, who was sexually harassing her by encouraging his dog to mount her. Now, we have the video. On to the videotape. Here is the dog and the model, and this is what's going on.
Roll it.
No humping allowed.
Oh, he's definitely a bad dog.
Fuck her!
I think
Not paying attention. It was so funny. I almost had a good one. You fucked it up.
Hey.
He's humping you.
Yo.
I think the dog's just dancing.
Yo!
Let him do it.
What, in the Bill Cosby? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's the thing is. Just move your ass and let him just sniff it a little bit. But act very serious.
So
that was the tape.
Yo, I can't.
That dog looked like it had a human chest with a human belly. I mean, come on. You touch a booty like that, that's 5 feet 6 foot. I don't know, man. I'd probably get aroused too.
I'm not.
Think about it.
We
She
see
looked good.
we see who's the bad dog amongst us.
I'm not.
That dog's hand was all over her butt.
I'm sure she put it there though. I'm sure the dog didn't just
I don't
slap
think
on
so.
her
I mean,
ass.
he's either humping or dancing or doing something, but
I don't know what that was about, but it was definitely weird.
It says Marina claims that the original sounds can be heard, including the dog owner shouting, "Just move your ass and let him just sniff it," and instructing the dog to fuck her.
And we did hear that.
Yeah, we did hear that.
definitely.
Manero claims Tutini has harassed her verbally and sexually during the shoot. The model told TMZ she posted the video because she didn't want Tutini to post it before she had a chance to take ownership of the situation. So,
safe to say that this case is going to be dropped for him. This lawsuit is definitely not going to
Yeah, I don't. With this video, he was definitely egging her on. She said, "I want the entertainment industry and the public in general to be aware of people like Tony who want to use you in every way they can, including but not limited to sexual and inappropriate acts."
Yo, the poor judge that has to preside over this stuff. I went to 20 years of law school for this. Yo, like, are they really?
In no way in that video
judge-
did any of us see her massaging or masturbating the dog.
And thank God we didn't.
Thank God we didn't.
Yeah, I'm literally like, God, I hope she don't touch it.
That would have been.
Sweet Mama says that dog been getting sexually harassed.
That judge is gonna,
has a story, yes.
The judge is going to recuse himself.
The dog is going to sue
Yes,
Tony.
he's going to have to get on the stand and explain what happened.
Yeah, exactly. No, he's going to give it to a lower end judge.
Wow.
It's been a bad week for dogs,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, it has.
Very bad week. All right, and also, this is outside of news of the weird. There was a situation that had taken place on a highway. Now, I want to ask you guys this question. Do you think this would have played out differently if the subject...
The answer is yes.
Okay, enough said. This was the commissioner of New Jersey Port Authority with a confrontation with police.
I don't need that.
Okay, fine. I'm
You're just here as the rider, right?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm here as a concerned citizen and friend of the mayor.
Oh,
and been in
name dropping.
For 20 years. I take full responsibility for them. And what is the reason they were pulled over?
The driver has all the information. He'll tell you.
No. I need to know.
No, you don't need to know.
That is my business card. I am the commissioner of the Port Authority, and I'm heading up over 4,000 police officers. Okay? So, if there's a problem, I think I have...
There's no problem.
Well, I think there's a problem.
It's an unregistered vehicle.
Okay, let's hear, why were they pulled over, first of all? Now, don't call me Miss, I'm Commissioner. It's impacting me, because I got 4 people who are coming back to my house, including people who live in New Haven attending Yale Graduate School, a PhD student.
It's more of the way you just approached me and your demeanor.
You know what? Okay.
Aww.
I'm being honest.
I have feelings too.
I don't appreciate your demeanor.
I don't
You're being very
Aww.
demanding with me.
No, I'm
stating
asking
based
you.
off of your
I'm asking
your
you.
position.
I'm asking
You know, if you were a nigga, I would have body slapped you.
You'd be dead right now.
Business card with credentials. I don't know you. I just met you a minute ago.
I'm very disappointed in the way the two of you are acting.
Oh.
For safety reasons, this is a high-speed road. I think we should all get off of the road. It's a little bit dangerous for us being out here.
Look at him, still concerned about her safety.
You know, you're a white woman in America.
Together a sketch of what the problem is.
Are you finished, ma'am?
I'm shocked.
Are
I'm
you finished?
shocked and very disappointed.
Oh.
Thank you
You may
for your
take
help.
them. You may take them now.
You may not tell me when to take my child. You may shut the
Oh! Wait a minute!
Bars.
Don DeMarco.
Bang, bang.
Badge number 540.
I got all your information, sweetheart.
Oh,
sweetheart.
Put this together. That's shameful. You know what, Matt?
I'd be like, can't call me sweetheart. You may not.
Coming over to a vehicle that's lawfully being impounded.
because I want to know where it's going.
Wow.
The driver was advised where it's going, as was your daughter. Your daughter was very nice as well. She asked, and I told her.
Guess what? I'm not so nice.
Ooh.
And you can tell that to everybody. That's
Ooh. All right. Well, that was
Yes.
And as you see in the bottom there.
Yes. J-Lex says can't front. White privilege is heavy here. Yeah.
When abuse of power meets power.
Sweet Mama
Very
says she's reprimanding them for pulling her over while her kid and her kid's friends here. Yes. Ain't that some shit?
I would. You know who we should ask? Let me see if I can find this person's phone number. She goes by the name of Sandra Bland. Let's see if we can find her number. Let's see. Oh wait,
cannot call her.
No longer here with us, unfortunately.
Can't call her.
Damn.
Can't call her.
Even the girl in Starbucks from earlier, not Starbucks, I'm sorry, Waffle House.
Oh,
earlier,
yeah.
Who was also having a
You have her number?
conversation.
No.
She's locked
She got to
up.
call collect.
Yes.
She got to call collect.
She got to call us.
Yeah, she got to call collect.
Damn.
Yeah.
I will be dismissing those charges.
Yeah.
But yeah.
God damn. I mean,
that's tough.
Oh man.
Well, apparently the woman has resigned from her
As she
position
should
as
have.
commissioner of Port Authority.
As she should have. I wonder why. I wonder what was so heinous about her confrontation with the police.
But now I ask, people who support cops blindly without cause. This looks like resistance to me.
Yeah.
Can we agree to that? That's resistance?
Yeah.
So now, if anything happened to her,
Oh gosh, I don't even think it would be a resignation from these police officers. They'll lock them in the room and throw away the room.
They'll throw away the room. Let's ask this guy, former NFL player, Mr. Murrow. Let's ask this gentleman if.
Was taken at a mall outside. I thought I was going to die. My breath kept slipping away. You okay? Mero was charged with making
You're all right, Nick.
terroristic threats, aggressive driving, and obstructing police.
The police report says the
Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back.
NFL player Desmond Mero of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Cops say Mero was resisting arrest after a road rage incident in which he threatened to shoot someone in the mall parking lot.
So he's already handcuffed. Oh, he's already handcuffed, right?
Then this disturbing moment. That's the same plea made in the notorious death of Eric Garner, who was arrested.
Hey, you know what?
Can't call him either.
Let's go ahead. Let's call him.
You can't call him.
Yeah, let's wait. Let's get Eric Garner. Oh
no. Damn. No, can't call him.
Oh man.
That actually concerned me for a second when I watched that video. I really thought.
Yeah, like you thought homie was gonna die.
Yeah.
Bro, like look at him.
Yeah.
Privilege.
Well.
Gotta love it. You just have to love it.
Yeah.
What is the threat saying? Because I wonder what they think about this whole situation.
J-Lex says, "Yikes."
And he, mind you, after this, he was released because there was nothing.
Yeah. And he even said he wasn't fighting back.
Right.
Antoine says, as far as the white woman,
I'm still cool.
They
Yes.
were scared. Yes.
Okay.
Also that. But, they were scared of that. Let me speak to your supervisor. Yeah.
Right.
See,
Good.
like that's something. That's a privilege. That's why it's called a privilege. That's something we don't have. When something is a right, it should be something that everyone has.
Right.
So like the average person like me, I can't be like, well, I'll speak to your supervisor and it like mean anything to you.
Of course.
But this woman, I'm the commissioner of the Port Authority and blah blah blah, and she's throwing her weight around. She's talking crazy, and the cops are just eating it for the most part.
Call them shameful.
Yeah. And told him to shut up.
Shut the F.
Yeah.
Shut the F up.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wonder why we can't call those people though.
Baichi Chemsel says that the reason why she resigned is because they had an investigation on her.
Anyway, or
well, I mean, after
but forget
internal
the
affairs
whole
bill over that.
resigning aspect of it. Because I mean, whatever. That's whatever. Just the simple fact that she's throwing her weight around. She's telling the guys, "Listen, I control 4,000 police officers anyway."
Yes.
So and she doesn't necessarily complete the sentence, but saying, things can happen.
In the video too, we skipped that part, but
Jay says she got fired. Now I heard she
resigned. No, she resigned.
I didn't hear about her getting
She didn't get
fired.
fired. She was pending that.
They
But
probably were threatening to fire her, and they probably said
she probably quit before.
Or they probably recommended that she resign. Yeah.
She was pointing out to the police officers that her daughters both graduated in both Harvard and
Yale. Yeah. No, they said I saw that.
Yeah.
What does it have to do with anything?
Yeah.
If the car's not registered,
If your kid did something to get pulled over,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
you mad at the cops for it.
Yeah.
I don't care how drunk she was. Fuck you. Like, what is that?
They're not as educated as
Right.
But again, that's what privilege is. Because there's a lot of white people, even white people that
They don't
I know.
understand. They don't understand.
I'm
it.
not privileged.
Right. I have to work hard for where I'm at.
Exactly.
No, that's not what
In Harvard,
privilege
yeah.
has. That's not what it has to do with. Yeah. Let's define that for people so they understand.
Please.
White privilege has nothing to do or is not questioning the fact that you worked hard for whatever position you acquired in your career. That's not what we're saying. White privilege is that you basically get the benefit of the doubt
In
with
certain
certain scenarios
situations, that others do not.
we don't.
And what you do is use it as a weapon.
Absolutely.
I couldn't yawn in front of a cop, let alone raise my voice to a cop and get away with it.
Right.
Like, please.
Shut up!
Yo, what? You be painting my mural on the wall behind me.
Yes.
This is where Bino used to sit and you used to drink. All kinds of candles and shit on the floor. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, please.
Yeah, now that is what white privilege is. And like I said, if people think we're over exaggerating, then I would ask you to match any case that we've witnessed and give us the white equivalent of that case. So give us the Sandra Bland case
of Eric Gardner.
Give us the white Eric. Give us the white Eric Gardner.
You see white people, white Nazis, Klansmen, whatever, with their carries, with their guns in front of the cops, with their hand on it, and the cop is still
shaking their hand,
like, doing the handshake with them. You understand what I'm saying? So like.
Right.
If you can do that, that's cool.
That's all I would ask. Is just give me the white equivalent of that.
It's
so
very
give me
simple.
Or give me the white equivalent of Sandra Bland. Or give me the white equivalent of Philando Castile.
Yeah.
Rodney King even.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Okay.
Amadou Diallo.
Amadou Diallo. You want Sean Bell? You want to give me the white equivalent of that? Sean Bell? Anyone?
Jay Lex says that if the cops touch her, he's seeing 5 to 10.
I mean,
I think it's a possibility. To be honest with you.
Interesting enough. Remember that black dude?
Yeah,
he was African, and he killed the Australian woman.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Last year, something like that.
Yep.
So his case is about to start.
Oh yeah,
and they're
got
talking
these
about
pictures.
He's using the same defense, I guess. I was scared for my life.
You fear
shit
for his
that
life?
they
Okay.
use, or whatever.
Good luck to that, fam.
Oh, bro.
Good luck to
Bro.
that.
Good luck to him.
They're gonna tar and feather his black
Oh,
ass,
God.
and I'm here for it. I literally can't wait to see how this goes down.
Right.
That mugshot is crazy.
Well, good luck, man. We wish him the best of luck. I just wonder where that Blue Lives Matter, where they will sit. Will they defend the cop? Or will
I say it all the time. Anything that takes place that affects black people, it goes outside that black community. So I knew some cop was going to get gas and think he could kill a white woman or a white person and think he was going to get the same treatment. He'll learn that.
Yeah, he'll learn. All right, Sunday morning breakfast. We'll come back with sit down segment, winners and losers. Anybody on the thread? Any comments from the thread before we go?
Yeah, Day says the investigation into abuse of power, particularly on this, and yes, she resigned. My bad. Sweet Mama says the Waffle House shooter is out on bail. You know
Yeah.
that?
He was.
I know he had
a bail.
bond,
He had bond. Yes, he had $2 million bond,
and he paid it.
I don't know if he paid it, but who didn't get? Yeah, Meek. That was the equivalent.
Yes.
Meek Mill didn't get.
No.
He said he had to go to. He had to go.
Musclehead says we really need to get more of our people in a position of power so that
He's
there's
absolutely right.
an even playing field. Yeah, of course. But I mean, that's the big issue.
But no, here's the thing. Like I think, and he's 100% on
I
that.
agree with
If
that, too.
we instead of worrying about whether, joining the NBA or being a rapper and things, I know that's like the dream for a lot of us in the community when we coming up. We all had that. Like we admire them, it is what it is, and it's natural. But I think we need to start realizing. Like I always refer to that case where there was that black judge, and she was sentencing over a white. I think he was a Nazi or whatever. And while he was walking away, he said the N-word towards her. She made him come back and said, "What did you say? Repeat what you said." And she repeated it for him and increased the sentence. That's how you get back.
And he got all quiet and
Yeah, that's what he did. Right.
No, I didn't mean nigger in that way. Yes.
Nigger in
a good way, the way you guys use it.
Yeah. NIGGA.
That's how you. I mean, listen, I'm all for protesting, but we have to come to a point where, you know what? We have to start being part of the system and start making changes that way.
Ricardo says, nah, they pulled the bail back after the backlash from what I
Of course. Well,
yeah, that makes sense.
Come on.
Yeah.
They try it, though. Like,
it's amazing.
Ridiculous.
It's amazing. All right, Sunday morning breakfast. We'll be right back.
To pay the mortgage. Because home is more than 4 walls and a roof. It's that porch swing on a summer night. It's pajamas with feet and everybody over for Sunday dinner. And that old stuffed chair in the living room you just can't get rid of. This is why you work a second job. This is why you learn to fix things yourself, so you could save on repairs. Because home is your place, your memories, your family sleeping in their own beds at night. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable. a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. And now even more options are available. Call 888-995-HOPE today. That's 888-995-HOPE. Or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov.
Good night, Mama.
This is why. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story, adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away at theshelterpetproject.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Dog Show. Up next, we have Satchmo. Satchmo is a member of the Shelter Pet Group.
That's right, a group known especially for their couch-snuggling, ball-chasing, face-licking, tail-wagging, backyard-hanging, and, of course, companionship.
And what breed would you say Satchmo is?
I'd have to go with maybe a lavish terrier-hound chihuahua-looking kind of mix.
Tremendous dog.
I'd also like to point out Satchmo's coloring, a white, gray, brown, black brindle, simply marvelous.
You know, it's such a treat to watch a dog like this.
Now, let's see him in action.
Look how he makes eye contact with his person.
That's actually known as the treat stare.
How intuitive. And now he appears to be excitedly turning in circles.
Ah, the happy dance, so common with this group.
And finally, the loving face lick.
It's great how he just gets in there and, well, licks.
Fantastic. But really, the best way to know an amazing shelter pet like Satchmo is to meet one.
Visit theshelterpetproject.org today. Adopt.
Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Why don't you sit down and shut up?
What? Why don't I sit down and what?
I said, why don't you sit down and shut up? Sit down and shut up!
Sit down and shut up.
Sit down and shut up! Sit down and shut up! Sit down and shut up!
Sit down and shut up!
Sit down and shut up!
Yes, sit down segment. Winners and losers for the week of April 29th. Let's start off with winners. Bino, who is your winner for this week, sir?
You know what? Although I think everyone's getting out of hand with the celebrating and all that, I'm gonna give it to Meek Mill, man.
Okay,
good for him.
Yes.
Nah, seriously, I like to see a black man out of jail, especially if it's over some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad to see him back home and he's talking about doing some positive things or whatever. Maybe he turns down a voice when he's rapping, stuff, shit like that. Like, good for him. You know what I'm saying? I really hope. And he had some powerful people backing him up. The owner from the 76ers, Robert Kraft from the Patriots. He has some powerful people backing him up. I don't know if they're using him or what the deal is, but either way, I'm glad to see he's home, and I hope he does well with the opportunity.
Dope. All right, Voice, who is your winner for this week, sir?
I actually got three really quick, to be honest with you. Okay, so shout outs to Cardi B for, again, continuing her performance. I think she's like, almost 9 months now?
Mm-hmm.
She went on the Latin Billboard Awards, and she performed one of the performances of her life, and she literally didn't show any signs of fatigue or anything like that, and definitely got some love. So definitely shout outs to you. Shout outs to the Suffolk County Police. The Suffolk County Police, serving for the community. They came up with the program, rather, and wanted to provide prom dresses and suits for people who can afford them, being that prom season is available. So definitely shout outs for them. Okay. And lastly, a Virginia woman shares her story. She gave birth. They didn't know she was pregnant in Istanbul. She didn't know where a hospital was or anything like that. She felt pain, and all of a sudden she recognized signs for some strange reason that she was in labor.
Right.
So she went into the hotel room, went into the water, gave birth, and went to bed.
That's what's up. Yeah. Corinne, you could do better. One up that.
Yes. That's
Let's
incredible.
Do it. Nice. Let's do it.
Incredible.
That's easy.
Yeah.
That's easy. All right. My winner for this week is going to go out to Shaquem Griffin. He was the the college player who had only one hand. So he had a disablement with another arm, with his other arm, and he was able to be drafted by the Seattle Seahawks. So I think he broke the record in the combine as well, as far as the 40-yard dash. So it was just good that, you know what I mean, like a guy who was told he wasn't going to make the NFL, obviously with a disability, was able to make the NFL. So shouts out to him.
He's on the same team as
his brother. Yeah,
brother.
Shaquille. Shaquille Griffin. So shout out to them. And that's really dope, man. So in no more words of Kanye West, you can't tell me nothing. That's probably the worst timing to do it, but it is. All right. Bino, who is your loser for this week, sir?
So we have this young lady here who didn't get sauce or specific type of sauce for her chicken in Popeyes here in NYC.
So this is her acting out.
Yes, proceeds to imitate Spike Lee from Do the Right Thing. Look at this stupid shit. This ain't what the chicken lady died. Look at this dumb shit.
Oh,
look at this.
That's terrible.
All over some sauce.
Yeah.
Now she's doing a DX.
Yeah, she's doing.
Wow.
Moral of the story is.
Now, cops from Waffle House. This is who you need to be arresting and this is where that energy needs to be.
This is where you might need to body slam it.
Unbelievable.
And we would not defend her.
Not
whatsoever.
one march.
Oh man, yeah, that was crazy. I just like the.
Yeah.
Just because you didn't get any sauce.
Just because you didn't get any sauce.
Wow.
No, nothing bigger than that.
All right, voice. Who is your loser, sir?
Fortunately, a sad situation. I'm going to give it to this Brooklyn teacher, name of Andre Bradley, age 34. Allegedly, he was charged for having sex with a 14-year-old boy who was a student in the school that he was teaching. They're saying that the situation probably was happening for a while. The boy told his parents, and the parents quickly notified police. Now he's going to be facing charges, and it's unclear that he even has a lawyer. So, why would you put yourself in a position like that where you're in a position where you're influencing children, and it's your job. At the end of the day, it's your 9 to 5. And you're going to put that at risk
because you're a pervert.
Because you're a scumbag.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, there's nothing more complicated than that. Like you're a piece of shit. It's very simple.
Pretty much.
Unbelievable. I'm gonna give my loser of the week to Donald Trump for not attending the White House Correspondents' Dinner for the second year in a row.
He is a sucker for that.
Like, come on, like it's an event where the press and the White House get to mingle and tell a few jokes. Share
it's virtually a roast, but
it's a roast.
That's what you do. You get roasted, like it's tradition.
And shout out to the comedian Michelle Wolf. I thought she was great, but there was some jokes that was like, wow.
She was hot and cold.
Yeah. It was quite vulgar. I would say that. Very risque, but I think you have to attend this event. I mean, if you want to just listen, public opinion of you doesn't change with certain things that you do, but you can play along with the press, especially the press that you've been attacking for the past 2 years. So just show up, man.
He put a tweet. While the Michigan was a success, he had a little rally. I guess a little rally was going on. He said, while that was a success, everybody was talking about the fact that the White House Correspondents' Dinner was a big, boring bust, and the comedian really bombed. I don't know if she bombed. I don't think it was a bust either.
It was very, it was wild. All right, let's do our shout-outs. Start it off, Voice. You can start it off, sir.
Yes. Shout-outs to The House, Hunter, Miss Barbie. Shout-outs to Team Oceanside. Shout-outs to a couple of birthdays that I have this week. Manny, definitely shout-outs to you. Happy birthday. And I'm going to see Oceanside a little later.
All right, Bino.
Yeah, shout-out to Rich Williams. Maybe he had to go to the Bush funeral. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Trump's off the wall. Anyway, shout-out to Sweet Mama as always. That about it, man. Everybody have a good week and all that.
Yeah, man.
Oh, no, hold up. Shout out to Bakari. He had a birthday this week.
Oh, I should have made them.
He's caused a lot of trouble on the.
Man. I should have made them. I should have made him and Antoine my losers. Damn. Thanks for supporting the show,
late
though.
Now. Yes.
Thanks for supporting the show, though.
Yes.
I love you guys. We appreciate the love, man.
They seem to love you too.
Yeah, right.
They love you to be that cool.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Maybe you know what? No, let me turn this off. You know what? To be fair, to lighten everybody's mood before we get out of here, let's get into it.
There you go.
Woo! Let me shout out the family.
Yes.
Let me shout out all the listeners, all the viewers. We appreciate the love.
Especially Trini Pup.
Trini Pup.
Trini Pup definitely gets
Trini Man and Trini Pup.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much.
I'm about the Mon. I'm here for the Pup, though.
And we about to ride out.
What about black on black crime?
Chicago.
Solar Pop.
Bakari thinks you're a coon.
There you go.
All white people ain't bad.
No, they're not.
No, they're not at all.
Sunday morning breakfast. We out of here, man.
It's our own worst enemy. What about Barack